What's up, sports fans? It's your man D back. Speak Your Mind Sports Talk. All right, check it out, man. We got the PB cheats, the WB cheats. Yeah, we talking about the PBC and the WBC today. And let me see what we got in the building. There he goes. I know you was coming today. Oh, no. That happens. But yeah, I did. I probably did. That happens from here and there, smoke, But it's all a part of the game. Anyway, guys, the link in the chat for today's discussion. We're talking about the PBC, WBC, and basically it's like this. A lot of the fans of Wilder are also fans of the PBC and other fighters associated as such. And a lot of them are making a stink about cheating. And it has to do with Tyson Fury cheating, of course. Raider from LA in the building. Chili Prague, what's good with your fam? So cheating, it's all about cheating, right? But maybe they should turn around and look behind them. And let's analyze the cheats of this sport. Because the way I see it, the PBC and their model and the way certain fighters are complaining are cheating their fighters out of legacy. They're cheating some of their fighters out of earning good pay. They're cheating the fans out of the best fights. Queen Lisa Bales. What's up with you, Lisa? Round gone one. What's good with you, fam? They're cheating the fans out of the best fights. That's what the PBC, when we want to talk about cheat. Then they want to throw cheat. Don't even get me started with the WBC and Sulaiman. Look at Dillian White's whole situation. They cheated him out of opportunity, let him tell it, but he has some valid points. Sulaiman is just a cheat himself. I mean, we don't even have to dig when we look at the WBC and we concern ourselves with cheat and if they're cheating. Lewis Sports Network, what's up, Lewis? Time is ticking away, Lewis. July 7th. We got 3 weeks, brother. 3 weeks, brother. Basketball Live with Lewis and D cranking up in 3 weeks. Let's go. Hopefully, I don't know, Lewis. You heard three players from the Heat and tested positive. Man, we got to see if basketball's still going to stand up. No telling. Raider from LA. It was Smoke that gave you a thumbs down. Nah, Smoke always, I believe Smoke always gives a thumbs up. I don't care about the thumbs down, guys. You get a thumbs down and that means that you have arrived. But, it always should be adverse opinions, or people just don't agree with you or agree with who you are, what you stand for. You're always going to have that, especially when you talk about accountability, because a lot of people don't like to hold themselves or their community accountable. So when you start talking about certain things, people can't deal with it. So it is what it is. Oh, South Croy, my man. I see you, South Croy. He said, I agree totally with your title, D. My man. Yeah, let me drop that link in the chat too for you guys that want to get up here and kick it. Yeah. So, let me pull that thing down anyway. But anyhow, guys, so first, we talk about the PBC, and okay, call it what you want. I'll take my guy and I'll start with him. Errol the Truth Spence. Now, prior to fighting Sean Porter and Cal Brook, Errol the Truth Spence had a tough journey through the PBC. A lot of fights that we watch Errol Spence fight in, weren't necessarily the fights that we would have rather see him fight in. You know, long ago, should we have seen Errol Spence fight Danny Garcia? Not now when Errol Spence is coming off of a car accident and there's no telling if he has a good chin. Danny Garcia is actually going in the fight on a wing and a prayer. He's hoping Spence's chin is not right. He's praying for there to be some type of spine or knee issue, something that'll give way once Spence gets into that fight. That's what Danny Garcia wants. He hopes that that happens. But that fight should have happened a long time ago. Maybe a fight with Sean Porter, fight with Keith Thurman. See, these fights should have happened, but remember, Spence went through a struggle. And the PBC cheated us out of a lot of fights, in my opinion, that we should have had back then. What's up, South Croy? Also, you can think about when we talk about cheat and oh my bad. When we talk about cheating and such, listen, how many fighters have come out against business? Their business with the PBC when we want to talk about cheating. You know? All of these promoters, I say anyway, and networks and sanctioning bodies, they cheat anyway. When we move to the WBC, don't get me started how many fights they cheated us out of. They cheat us out of fights every year. They're cheating the fans. We want to point the finger about some theories about a glove. You can see the man's knuckles through the gloves and all of this nonsense. Like, come on, bro. Let's be for real. Let's be for real. Let's point our fingers at the real cheaters. The corruption, you know, when they just slam a guy into mandatory position over a guy who's been sitting around number one year after year, day after day, month after month. That's not cheating the fans out of a fight they deserve. Come on, man. Out of a guy we know was going to get abolished, and then what happens? He gets knocked out in the first round. We got cheated. And if you don't feel cheated, you're an idiot. Or you don't feel cheated because you're a fanboy, and you're a fanboy of the guy who knocked this clown out in the first round.
Exactly.
Real fans like myself, like South Croy, we were cheated. We were cheated out of a fight. And who was responsible for that? The WB cheats.
Absolutely cheated.
You know what I mean? Man. What's up with you, Croy? How you feeling, fam?
Yeah, man. I when I saw your topic, D, I had to get on your program, man, because I agree with you totally. I think we are being cheated, and by them two organizations that you mentioned. Not only they, but those are two prominent organizations that's cheating boxing right now. And I said that without I say that without apology.
Right, and I agree. Hard recoil in the building. What's good, Toby Barlett? Brethren, Iron Cone, what's good with you, fam? He said, hit the like, motherfuckers. That's what's up, Iron Cone. Appreciate you, fam. He said, D got a yard man on him. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's my man, South Croy. Why don't you let me put that link back in the chat? Why don't you come up and join the party, Iron Con? But yeah, Croy, I feel you, bro. I mean, Sacramento King, what's up? He said, I feel cheated out of Haney versus Loma Championship. Yeah, man. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Broner versus Tevin Farmer. That was a little action-packed fight that, look, let's be honest. I always thought Tank Davis would actually beat Tevin Farmer. But that was the fight that would have given Tank Davis at that time more validity than anything. That was a fight he should have taken, you know, but he never took that fight. We was cheated out of that fight as fans because that was a fight that, you know, put Tank Davis in a little danger. Tevin Farmer may have taken him a little in the deep waters a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But I thought that was a winnable fight for Tank. But when there is a chance that the opponent can win the fight, That's the fight that the fans want to see. And Ellaby and Floyd, TMT, PBC, whatever you want to say, they all connected. They cheated us out of that fight, bro. We never got that fight. What did we get? Nunez. A fucking Nunez. That's what we got.
But D, and another thing that's plaguing, as I said, cheating, you know, because it's such a good topic, because it's quite relevant. It's happening now, and I mean in more ways than one. And firstly, when I said that those two major organizations were sort of the face of cheating sport and boxing fans out of proper entertainment, out of entertainment that we could have had. But some of the boxers themselves, and I'm not changing your topic. We probably could get onto this a little later.
No. Get on to that, because that's a part of what I want to talk about too, actually, because they're being cheated too. When you point the finger about cheaters, let's look at cheating. Let's look at cheating in totality, since you want to point the fingers at something that you have really no proof on and cry about it because your champion got his ass whooped. Let's really look at some cheating that we have evidence of. And that's why I want to talk about. Let's talk about that.
Exactly. That's where, as I said, I didn't want to sound like I'm trying to change your topic, but
no. Take the floor, brother. Speak on it.
It's still in keeping with your topic, because as we are addressing cheating and in cheating sports fans out of proper entertainment, as I said, but then some of the boxers themselves are cheating, and that cheating is also cheating sports fans, boxing fans, out of the kind of entertainment that we want to see. A lot of us would like to see Billy Joe and Canelo fight. That's a fight that I'd like to see happen. I think Billy Joe has skills, has boxing skills. I think he's a good boxer. But then, because of cheating, we are now cheated out of a fight like that. You know, Big Baby Miller, he can be a competitor. He's a big guy, and he has boxing skills. He has combat skills. So let me not just narrow it down to boxing skills, because we know that Miller had participated in other combat sports. So he has combat skills. He can fight. But now, and there are those who would like to see Miller fight some of these heavyweights that are probably touted to be in the upper echelons. People wanted to see the Miller AJ fight, and cheated us out of that fight, and it's all contributing. It's like it's all a match now, because when boxers don't cheat us out of the fights, then the organizations that you mentioned and are cheating us out of fights that we want to see.
Yo, I love it, Iron Cone. You be breaking it down, bro. That's what I'm talking about. And that's the type. That's why we need to have these discussions, bro. Because people need to. I don't know. I saw Get This Smoke. If you're still in here, you need to come up here and give your perspective. I might fuss with you. Somebody else might fuss with you, but that's what it's all about. Different perspectives. Because I was looking at this, and that you just came with another angle that I hadn't even contemplated, Croy. Iron Cole, my man, what's good with you?
Yeah, D, what's going on, man? Yeah, So Cry. What up, man?
Yeah, yes, big up, man.
Yeah,
who is that? Sacramento?
No,
that's my man, Iron Cole, Almighty Cole.
Iron Kong. Sorry, I saw you. Yeah, big up, man.
Yeah, D, I ain't gonna stay long, but I just want to say, I mean, the PBC been cheating us out of fights for a long time, and it's a goddamn shame, really. But what I really want to say is that the fighters cheating themselves at PBC. You know what I'm saying? They're cheating themselves out of maximum earning. They're cheating themselves out of maximum legacy. And that's really the shame of all this, because it's a long time now boxing is not fan friendly. It's been quite a long time boxing ain't fan friendly. So fans usually expect little to nothing from boxing. But you tend to expect athletes to expect something of themselves and not cheat themselves out of greatness or cheat themselves out of making as much money as possible. Deontay Wilder cheated himself with $100 million. You know what I'm saying? And unification, undisputed, all of that. Cheated himself. You know what I'm saying? Errol Spence is cheating himself out of, well, he cheated himself out of the Terence Crawford fight. That Ferrari did the rest. You know,
and the thing is, I'm going to make you come back quickly, but I just want to add to what you're saying quickly and let you back in. And when the fighters, if the fighters want to cheat themselves out of these humongous deals, you know, if Wilder wants to cheat himself out of $100 million, that's, you know, that's kind of his business. But but by him doing that, it had cheated boxing fans out of a fight that we wanted to see.
Right.
And that's where it affects people like you and I and our friends in the chat.
Yeah, but then again, you would expect, if you're an athlete, you want to be the pinnacle of your sport. So you would think by doing the things you're supposed to do, traditionally that is expected of you, it then benefits the fans. So these men, as you say, cheating themselves, and then on the back end of that, you're gonna cheat the fans.
It's going to cheat the fans.
Look at when Anthony Joshua went to New York, and so cried. How much people cheated themselves out of that fight? Only Andy Ruiz was like, just give me a chance, Bridget. Adam Kowanaki cheated himself out of a fight. Luis Ortiz cheated himself out of a fight. You know what I'm saying? These people cheat themselves more than anything. And you would expect athletes to want to be the best of the best. And they cheat themselves out of the opportunity.
And before you come in deep, and then we have to wonder, are some of these fighters cheating themselves out of it, or is those organizations, that example that D has mentioned, are they behind some of these decisions that are being made? And that is why I like the title, because then it goes back to them organizations that are really doing the cheating. Because I fail to believe that some of these, I'm not convinced at all that some of these fighters are voluntarily not taking these purses, not taking these fights. Are they? What are we seeing? Just a lack of ambition. Fighters nowadays doesn't want notoriety, the right kind of notoriety. And if they don't want notoriety, they don't want to be great, don't they want money? How
exactly.
can you not want $100 million? I can't understand. So it goes back to what Dee is saying, that these organizations are behind some of these fighters. Not, I think Luis Ortiz not taking that $7 million from Eddie Hearn. I still struggle to believe that it was Luis Ortiz's his own decision only.
Anywho,
you know.
Yo, D, I'm gonna get back to work. My break's over. Get this smoke. You just came on, brother. Smoke, peace. So cry.
Yeah, peace, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
All right, Cole, I appreciate you coming on, fam. You're always welcome. Chill Smoke in the building. What's good with you, fam? John Daly in the building. What's up, John Daly? Get this smoke. Just stepped on. Hashman Boxing. What's up, Hashman? Ayobs. What's up, fam? What up, Smoke?
Chilling, man, chilling. I got sidetracked, so I missed the very beginning, but I was like first one in the room today.
Yeah, no, I shouted you out too, bro. I already shouted you out. I just said for a second, I said, what's Smoke at? I know he's gonna get on for this one. But
yeah. Hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, I'm getting better, bro. But look, so I definitely wanted you on this Hashman, that's what's up. Hey, everybody that did, go check Hashman out. You know, we appreciate you guys. And I'm telling you, this dude knows boxing, so you know, if anybody who wasn't here yesterday, Haymon Boxing, go check him out. You like what you hear? Go ahead and subscribe to that man. I like what I hear. I'm subscribed. So a lot of other people went there yesterday. They must have liked what they heard. They subscribed. So y'all go check out Haymon. Appreciate you coming through, Haymon Boxing. But yeah, Smoke. I want to hear your thoughts. We on the PBC now, and I know, like, I'm not really here. I know we might do some back and forth here or whatever, but I'm not really here to debate you. But I really want you up here because I was pretty sure that you were gonna offer a alternative perspective, I should say.
Loyal opposition, baby.
You know, so go ahead, Smoke your floor, man.
No, I really I missed the beginning, so I'm not sure where we're at. If you could just cue me up.
Okay. PBC are no good bastards and dirty snakes and low down. No, I'm playing. Nah, this is what I was saying. So of course you hear a lot of the finger pointing with the Fury situation. Now, I'm not saying you in particular, Smoke, but a lot of your first and foremost fellow Wilder fans and also your fellow PBC supporters are ones that's over pushing the narrative on the cheating thing, okay? And I'm saying that a lot of this stems from Wilder losing, but a lot of these things that they're putting out there can be proven only one way or the other. They can't be proven one way or the other. There's really no proof on this stuff, right? What we do have proof on is how fans have been cheated out of certain things because of the way that organization moves. We do have proof and, relevance from fighters of how they've been cheated out of opportunities, so we have proof of cheating. With the WBC, you already know. I mean, you already put enough about them out there. So we have proof of cheating, and these fans that support these two organizations need to turn around, do a U-turn. If they want to cry about cheating so much, turn around, do a U-turn, because these two organizations are literally cheating them out of good fights they should have for personal gain. They're cheating fighters out of paydays and opportunities for personal gain. The cheaters are right behind them, the ones they supporting while they're living on fairy tales trying to accuse Fury of cheating. That's where we are, and we're only 23 minutes in. So,
okay,
it's your
all right. Just without going into it, I heard a few things, but mostly a lot of it stems from what I just heard you describe was whether or not you believe one way or the other about Fury, right? So if you don't believe anything Wilder has to say, then yeah, it's just a bunch of nonsense is being overpushed, right? But if you do believe what he's saying, then it hasn't gone far enough, right? So that just depends on what side of divide you're on, right? But the other thing about, whether the WBC cheats fighters and whether or not the PBC is cheating fighters, well, the WBC, right, I think it's really just about the interest of the organizations that you're talking about, right? So the PBC is a organization that claims to be fighters first, and they say that that's what their sort of their PR is, that they're fighter first, and then their mission statement for us, the fans, or at least the one that resonates with me, is championship fights on free TV, right? So when it comes down to them being fighter friendly or fighter first, I'm not behind the scenes, so all I can do is go off what the fighters say, and the fighters absolutely, to a man, really like the PBC, or either like the PBC when they're champions, or when they no longer champions, they still like being without Haymon, right? So I can't, from a fan standpoint, we may not get the fights we want to see when we want to see them when it comes to the PBC, but that's not really, I mean, for me, the contract they made with the fans was to give me free championship fights give me championship fights for free, which I got and I actually enjoy. So I don't really see, I came in on the Luis Ortiz thing, and I'm not sure how that would be laid at the PBC's feet, or that he cheated himself. Yeah, the WBC, they're a for-profit business. They cheat fighters all the damn time, like whatever. What I'll say about the PBC is that they're very protective of their champions. They're one of them and the WBA, actually. Once you get a championship, once you get a belt there, you can keep that indefinitely. As a matter of fact, it's a whole ceremony to strip you, right? It almost never happens to the WBA. And yeah, I mean, yeah, the WBC, I think, cheats all kinds of, right? The WBC is actually in the business of promoting other fighters, some fighters over others. So, yeah.
Can I respond to Smoke?
Well, of course.
All right, Smoke. You said quite a mouthful, but there are two things that stuck out to me that you said that I'd want to quickly address. I think the point that D is making really is not so much that where cheating is concerned, and the whole question of cheating is not so much say where the PBC is cheating or is not cheating their own fighters. I don't know how concerned D and I are about that, or other people. We don't know how concerned we are about that. That's not my main issue with cheating. It's not PBC cheating, it's fighters. That's my issue. It's PBC cheating the fans. I'm speaking from a fan's perspective, where there are fights that we are not getting to see. That is what we're talking about, cheating the fans. If fighters want to stick around with the PBC and love the PBC, good for the PBC. If they're getting lots of money, I'm not sure, I don't know. And if they're getting little money, I'm not sure, I don't know. If Al is cheating his fighters, I can't come on here and make such a broad statement. I really don't know the inner workings. But what I can say is that I think that the fans are being cheated because of how just the general way in which the PBC is operating. We're not getting fights that we are excited about, right? And so that's the first point that I wanted to say something about. And the next thing you said is it's quite important. It's quite interesting that the PBC protects their champions. You just said that a while ago, and I concur. But as a result of protecting your champion in the way that the PBC goes about it, they are so protected that the fans again are being cheated, because they protect their fighters so much that they don't allow them to fight certain fights. And there again, it goes back around to fans being cheated. Right? So that's where I think our reasoning is coming from today. And that's what we were saying before you come on.
Okay.
All right, real quick, Smoke, real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
A couple people to step in the building real quick. Willie Boy slipping, move in the building. What's good with your Willie Boy? My man Mangrow in the building. What's up? Punch Drunk Boxing. Punch Drunk, if you got some time, click this link. I'd love to get your input on this, fam. Well, Wood, Stay Real just stepped up on the panel, but my man Mr. Two Hands Fat in the building. What's good with you, Mr. Two Hands? Appreciate you coming through. Iceman in the building. What up, Iceman? All right, guys. So, Wood, Smoke, before you go, because he stepped on the panel, I know you've been listening, Wood. What do you think about this? PB cheats, WB cheats. What do you think?
You say PBC cheating?
I say PB cheats is what I call them, and WB cheats. Yeah, you know.
I'm not gonna. I notice a lot of people have PBC when you label a whole organization like that. I can't label the whole organization. I'm not into that. You know, I like to go by case, individual.
Right.
And
It's more metaphor. It's more metaphor, Wood. It's more metaphorically in the sense that, hold on, listen, in the sense that they cheat us out of the fights we should get because of the way they move.
I believe that's the whole boxing in general, though. I believe that's boxing in general. I think that's just the state of the boxing. You can look on both sides. You can look at Canelo. Canelo don't always give us the fights that we want to see with Canelo.
I agree with that.
All of it's not just them. It's a boxing problem. It's not PBC. It's not. It's a boxing problem.
But
not
Wood,
PBC.
But Wood, look, now we could go into this if you'd like to, but all I'm saying is when you look at things on the grand scale in the sport of boxing, and certain organization or sanctioning body of sorts is the majority or more of a problem than the rest. Let me not say the majority, or let's say more of a problem than the rest when it comes to this issue, then they're going to be attacked more of the time than the rest. And to be fair, without going into a long drawn out debate about it, the PBC is more of a problem than the rest when it comes to this issue.
Do I have an opinion?
Yeah, I'm just saying that's just the perspective.
That's your opinion on it.
That's the perspective that I'm coming from. This is what I want y'all to give y'all perspective on it. So yeah, speak on it.
I look at it as a problem in boxing. Period. If you take if you just take PBC out the whole thing and just look at boxing in its whole, just look and say, okay, just eliminate PBC and look at boxing and see if it's nothing like UFC where we get all the fights. Boxing period is nothing like UFC. It's not just a PBC thing. It's a boxing thing period. And boxing always been slow to give us fights. And sometimes we don't get the fights that we want to see. Period. It's been going on in boxing ever since I've been watching it since the mid '70s.
Right.
Sugar Ray Leonard didn't fight everybody. He didn't. Is a lot of people was trying to fight him. It's Roy Jones Jr. didn't fight everybody. It's just fights that never occurred in boxing. Period. And then you're just gonna sit back and PBC is a fairly new organization, and you're gonna blame them, put them saying they the thing of boxing. They haven't even been around long enough. They only been around for a couple of years. Boxing this shit been going on in boxing forever.
Yeah, but that's why I broke it down in this day and time in 2020. You know, my argument and a lot of the people that, you know,
don't like them. A lot of people.
Hold on. It's nothing personal with me. You got to hear me out. I said my argument, and a lot of people that also share my view on this is that they're more of a problem than the others. When you have a piece of the pie, sort of like a pie chart, and you cut that thing, you know how the pie chart is colored in different sections. Well, they're that section that's red, that big section, you know, where you have all of these other little sections. So those are the other organizations, but they're that big section. That's how we look at the PBC. And there's reasons that we look at them. In a sense, first, their unwillingness to cooperate with other organizations. They're more unwilling. Do they make fights with other organizations? Yes. See, I don't like when people go overboard and say, oh, they don't want to make fights with no. Well, that's not true. They do make fights with other organizations. Do they put up more of a struggle when it comes to these situations? Do they marinate these things longer when it comes to these situations? Do they put roadblocks in the way when it comes to these situations? Yes. Yes, they do. Can I say something? Is the issue that many people have. And hold on, let me finish. Not only do they put certain roadblocks in the way, they put roadblocks in the way that will prevent legacy and what we want to see. And it comes down simply to financial gain. The shit doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense oftentimes. Even on the business scale, if they look at what would happen, what would take place on the latter side, like if they were to capture these titles, then they would make even more money. And when it doesn't make sense to the fans and that perspective, we don't go along for that. And we give them more blame than the other organizations because they do this type of thing more often. And they're reluctant and not willing to work with other organizations. They're the only ones who have basically exclusively terminated doing work with DAZN. That alone makes them more difficult than everyone else because they refuse to work with DAZN regardless of what.
I think there's a conflation of like ideas, right? So the PBC is different than Al Haymon, right? So the PBC has contractual organizations. It's a production company, right? And Al Haymon is an advisory group.
Hold on. No, I'm gonna let you go. It's not about what you're saying. My man Boxing Monster in the building. He been on vacay. What's up, Boxing Monster? Appreciate you coming through, fam. All right, go ahead, Smoke.
Right. So Al Haymon fighters fight on DAZN, right? But they're not on. But they're not PBC fighters. PBC fighters fight on PB. That's its own program. And while I do think that there's I think that there's a network war kind of brewing, a little bit more so than usual, right? With Fox entering the market in 2019 for the first time. But that to me that's I think that is a significant event in how these fighters got siloed off in the first place. But HBO, disintegrating, getting out of boxing, and the rise of DAZN, that's their business. Like the PBC isn't really a custodian of all of boxing. They're really just a custodian of their particular stable, right? And they have their contractual obligations for their fighters, and that is just the sport of boxing. That's true for every other organization. And to the extent, and I've been saying this forever, to the extent that an organization has the inventory to have in-house fights, that's what they do because that's what the business dictates, right? And it's just that PBC has a larger stable of top-notch fighters in certain divisions, right? But then, like Wood was saying, if you look at other divisions, you look at other divisions and other organizations, they do the same thing. It's just how boxing is.
Can I get one example?
Hold on one second, Wood. Let me just finish. I'm gonna land this real quick. Add to not only more networks being involved in boxing, but more sanctioning bodies being involved in boxing. So a single champion can get a bunch of defenses and build his own brand before he branches out. Then what you have is like a systemic issue. It's not just about the PBC, as Wood was saying. If you take the PBC out of it, you're gonna find the same thing. What I would say where the PBC is not cheating the fans, and really they're the only organization that's doing this, is that they've removed the paywall from championship boxing. I don't actually need to pay money. I don't even need a cable bill. I need these rabbit ears, and I see Charlo versus Harrison twice. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, look at Lomachenko when Devin Haney was the #1. They made him franchise champion. Bob Erm is notorious for the in-house fights. If he right now he just don't have the stable to perfect it. If he had the stable, you would only see top ranked fighters fighting top ranked fighters. He's famous for this, and he'll say that. But since he's not in a position of power right now, he's going to cry, bitch, and moan and sing like he's trying to make all the fights. But he's not. He just now blocked Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight and made him a franchise and made Lomachenko a franchise champion. And it made Alvarez a franchise, some type of champion where they don't have to defend their belts. Boxing has been doing this. I don't see how this shit that's been relegated to one to PBC. That's not fair at all to even put them in it. It's a boxing thing, period.
But
just one thing I wanted to clarify. I didn't say that the PBC protects its champions. I said the WBC protects its champions. But it's a fair point about the PBC too. But go ahead.
Yeah, and I was saying, sorry. I'm getting a call coming through. Let me just turn it off. Yeah, but why are we making this a PBC discussion? It's not a PBC discussion. It's a discussion about cheating fans out of the fights that fans want to see. Two examples were mentioned in the title: PBC and WBC. So it's not totally down to the PBC. And even when we started off, probably everybody wasn't hearing at the time.
Well, you need to put Top Ranking there and Golden Boy too. You need to put Top Ranking Golden Boy name in it too.
Don't forget Matchroom. They
And Matchroom, all of them.
They slid the scene.
All of them.
So, and we even mentioned boxers who are cheating, and therefore they are taking themselves out of equations, and so we are not getting fights. So we are kind of talking about cheating the fans out of proper fights. But then when you according to what Dee was saying, and alluding now to a bit to what Dee was saying, is that when it comes down to this time, you just mentioned some players in the business that are quite significant. And Matchroom is one big significant player where promotion is concerned in boxing. The PBC, the WBC is a big organization in boxing. It controls a belt. We know that. So we are talking about, and yes, you mentioned Top Rank. These are some of the camps that has the major players in the business, that has the major boxers in the business. So yes, we can name all of the camps in boxing. Some of them are not carrying the major players, and so they don't have the major fights. So that is why it comes down to sort of a selective few. So because I see where this argument is going, and that is why you mentioned Matchroom. It's not a Matchroom as opposed to PBC or some PBC bashing. I think we're losing sight of what the essence of this conversation is about. But and before I get off now, I'll just say one of our friends here mentioned about case by case examples, that you don't like to go generally. You talk about case by case examples, and that I mentioned a case where we didn't get a fight. I would like to see the Anthony Joshua Luis Ortiz fight. That fight was a fight that people were looking forward to. Now let's take that. That's a case. This is a case by case. Who were involved? It was Matchroom and it was the PBC. Right? This was a fight that was highly anticipated. What happened in this case? Ortiz said that he was lowballed, and so he wouldn't agree to the kind of money that he was being paid. It was too low. The sum of money was too low, and we could go into the ins and outs of it. Now, I was questioning: was this Ortiz's sole decision, him on his own making this decision, that he doesn't want this money? Was his organization, was his camp behind it, that decision? Did they help to make that decision? Because we did case by case. Let's go and take some of the cases. We didn't get that fight. We didn't get that fight. Why didn't we get that fight?
I can fill you in. It was definitely the team, but it wasn't the PBC. The member of the team that you can thank for that fight not happening was Luis Ortiz's promoter, right? So he has a manager who's also a trainer, and the manager is the one who said he was being lowballed, apparently because that's what the promoter told him, but the manager didn't know what figure it was. So it was initially $5 million, right? So according to the manager, him and Luis Ortiz would have taken that amount. But according to the promoter, but hold on. According to the,
just 1 second, please. We are being naive here. We're being naive because if that is how you're going to argue smoke, it means
no, I'm not that. I wasn't done with my argument. You interrupted me to say this thing, so let me land the plane, and then maybe it'll click. Yeah, right. So the issue was the promoter said they already had a deal to rematch Deontay Wilder for more money. Right. So that was the issue. That's why he said he was being lowballed. It was a last minute replacement for a big fight. And they felt like there was more money to be made. And he already had a fight signed. So in order to get out of the fight and handle their in-house business, he was saying, open up the wallet. And basically, Eddie said no. But they got another PBC fighter in Andy Ruiz to take his slot. So you can't really lay this on the PBC really at all. I mean, I wouldn't like that fight specifically, but I mean, the money dictates.
I'm not laying it at the PBC, and I won't be long. I'm not laying it at the PBC. I'm further on from that. But because what I'm trying to say to you, Smoke, is that there was a bigger machine, there was a bigger idea at work at the time. And if we are going to, if the chat is listening and anybody listening, there was a bigger issue at work around that fight, around the time when Anthony Joshua was trying to get an opponent to fight in the USA. There was a complete freezing out. People were trying not to make Anthony Joshua get a credible opponent because they wanted that to use as criticism. It is bigger than just Ortiz or a promoter in Ortiz's camp who was being stupid. It's bigger than that. Why Anthony Joshua couldn't get an opponent? Remember that he wanted to fight either. He wanted to fight other people. He would have wanted to take on Tyson Fury. He wanted to take on Wilder before that, but there was a freezing out on Anthony Joshua. So the reason for that fight not happening in the way I see it is that there was a bigger machinery at work. There was the atmosphere that wanted Joshua not to have any credible opponent. And when even when Andy Ruiz took that fight, people were saying that, see, look at who he's fighting. He doesn't have a credit. Is that a fight? And that was the notion that was being pushed. Now, if we're going to, yeah, of course you're going to deny that, Smoke. But a lot of the
that wasn't me making that noise. That wasn't me.
True. And so we were cheated out of the fight because there was politics behind
that.
That's
not me. So I was just saying.
Smoke. Let's let Wood get in there because I don't want to be back and forth with you and Croy, and then Wood get kind of lost in the sauce. So.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't see how you can even say it's a PBC, man. It's just like it's just a boxing problem, man. You can see fights. You could go on and name fights from the 70s on up that didn't happen. It's just something in boxing. It's a boxing. It's not the PBC do it no more. PBC have a bigger stable. Only thing they have a bigger stable. But if Bob Arum and Oscar De La Hoya had his way, nobody wouldn't be fighting nobody. But people in his stable, it'd be in-house fights. In the same with Top Rank and all the rest of them. It's just how boxing is, man. And I don't see how PBC can get mixed up in it. That's not right to put the blame on PBC. I think that's just not right at all.
Well, see, that's because you're taking in the perspective that someone's blaming the PBC. What I'm saying is this: either you're taking the perspective that someone's blaming the PBC, or you're not accepting.
Look at the title.
Hold on, Wood. You're taking the perspective that everyone, like all the blame is going on the PBC, or the fact that you're not accepting the fact that I believe they're more of the problem than any other organization. Because forget about what title says. Titles are one thing, content is another. Speaking Mind Sports Talk Live Daily is a discussion, so the title can say anything. But that's why we get here and we discuss it at the table. Don't base everything on a title. The title of a book can say anything. It's not till you open that book up and you read that book until you get the true content, the meaning. So understand, we having a discussion here. I don't care what that title says. I throw shaky titles up there all the time. I do it intentionally. It's called clickbait. Guess who else does it? Would Stay Real TV. Kind of got the inspiration from you, fam. You know I'm always on your channel. That's what we do, though. So forget about what the title say. It's what the content says. It's what we're talking about here. And the facts of the matter is, we've given validity of why we believe they're more of a problem than the others. That is not blaming them for everything or saying that the others are not, the same, or that others don't do the same nonsense, or the others are not crooked in their own ways, or, provide foolery to boxing. Oh, yeah, for sure. We know this. I burn up Bob Arum all the time. You've been over here, Wood. I always give Bob Arum heat. Bob Arum was on a special episode of You Idiot. So it's not like we're we're oblivious to these other things happening. But when we give validity and we say that the PBC is more responsible, that's just how we feel. That's our opinions, and we have things to back up those opinions.
If I could just jump in, the PBC being more responsible or less responsible, what percentage they are responsible, I think we can chop up, definitely. And I don't know, I've never thought of it that way because, you know, just because of the way I experience boxing is like wood. I've also been watching boxing since the 70s, and this is the impression I get also. So, but just to address what it was St. Croix, is it?
Yeah, South Croix. South Croix.
South Croix. What you're saying about the general atmosphere and the freezing out of AJ. If you remember, right? So everyone wanted the AJ Wilder fight, but we had Wilder Fury, and there was the dross, right? So AJ was looking for opponents, right? He said 5 people. Jarrell Miller got the nod, right? That was it. He sent out offers. There was the whole Dillian White fiasco negotiation. They finally settled on Jarrell Miller. While Luis Ortiz was one of the guys mentioned in those 5, everybody else got an offer before Luis Ortiz. So really the issue about how that came up and why it was so controversial was it was a last minute replacement because of Jarrell Miller failing a test. And also because Luis Ortiz wasn't given one of those offers in December. He was given an offer much later when he already got booked. So it was the last minute replacement issue more so than the hey, nobody wants to fight Anthony Joshua. It would he had a bunch of negotiations and people had their own issues, but it wasn't even PBC people.
All right, Croy. I know you're gonna go back to him, but let me do this. No,
we're done there.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool then. Punch Drunk Boxing. What's up with you, my man?
Punch Drunk Boxing, aka Mr. Moon. Shine himself. Talk to me. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna break it down in layman's term, and I'm gonna give you an example. It's like a chick and a dude that's locked up. This is how boxing treats us. And we're the chicks, and we're writing letters, and we're sending our commissary money to boxing. And he's saying, don't worry, when I come out, I'm going to give you what you need. I'm going to give you the life that you've been wanting. And 1 year goes by, 2 years, and you're still mad. And, you the chick, and boxing is the convict. And then as soon, they wait, and then they come out of jail, and they do some bum shit to us. And they give you half of the life that they promised you. That's how we get treated in boxing. And I know we all have probably relationships in the past, and we, give all the ladies all these hopes, and that's what boxing does. But the way that boxing does it just keeps us there on the limb, though, for hope. Hope. And we already know over-marinating food is the worst food. You can't even overturn over-marinating food, and that's what's happening in the sport of boxing.
Yeah, well, I like that. I like that analogy. I like that breakdown. Best of the best. It's all good, bro. I'm glad you listening in, fam. Appreciate you. Yo, I feel you, Punch. And my thing is this: the WBC, especially with the introduction of this franchise belt nonsense.
Oh Lord.
They are definitely a big part of this culture of us, getting cheated on. They're a big part of it. You look at the sanctioning bodies and the foolery that's going on. Yeah, the WBA got foolery, WBO, IBF, they got foolishness. But the WBC leads the charge of foolishness. They're leading the charge. Okay? And so I look at the PBC in the same light. And PBC fans or whatever you want to call it, or protectors or whatever you want to call it, like I said, they don't like to hear when I say that. When I look at these organizations, I look at the PBC as I look at the WBC. They're leading the charge and fucking it up for us. They're leading the charge. So if your fan And it is their fans that's pointing this finger at Fury saying, cheat. Do a U-turn. Turn around. About face, like they say in the military. About face, turn around and look at the PBC, whom you support, the WBC, whom you support, and say, hey, you the ones fucking cheating me.
Yeah.
Because that's who's cheating me. And that's what this is about. Now, some people are going to accept that perspective and some are not. And that's why we have these discussions. So let's talk about it. For the love of sports, let's talk about it.
So the analogy that Punch gave, if that was the case for me, I would not be watching boxing. So that sounded absolutely horrible. I've watched boxing for more than just the fights that I want to see personally, right? That's not really what it's about for me. I actually appreciate the art. I appreciate the time people put into their craft. And I do get phenomenal fights in boxing. Like, I'm not going to pack up on boxing because I didn't get Fury, AJ Wilder, when I got Fury Wilder, and I got Pro Gray Taylor, and I got, you know, any number of fights that I thought were either entertaining, compelling, absolutely justifies and legitimize my, you know, my love and interest in following of the sport the way I do. And it's not even just what happens in the ring. Like, once you start watching it, in order, you know, you watch boxing long enough, you start to get into the politics. Depending on what you like, you may get into the business part or not. You know, boxing, it has it all there for you, right? For me, but while I do, like, the last time I got really emotionally invested in a fight happening was Wilder AJ, but the way that fizzled out, it just was like, all right, cool. This is, you know, this is Vlad Lennox all over again, or Riddick Bowe Lennox all over. Like, I'm not, like, I already been here before, right? When it comes to specific kinds of fights, but when it comes to the general sport, like, I'm good.
I mean, yeah, it's cool. You could be good, but if we're gonna have the discussion, let's try to generalize it. Let's try to generalize and put it as fans and not as smoke. As smoke, of course, I could say what the fights that I want to see, but I could generalize it and look from a fan's overall point of view. That fans are kindly, you know, disgusted with the sport of boxing, and it's not like we're not getting good fights. Because Sean Porter and Earl Spence was a good fight, but that's not the fight that the fans wanted to see. Yeah, we'll take it, but that's not the fight that the fans want to see. Yeah, we'll take Tony Harrison and Charlo, but we wanted we wanted Charlo and Hurd, but we'll take that fight, and that's what I mean. Like, yeah, they'll give us hope, but then we'll never get to see the fight. Yeah, we want to see Danielson Garcia and Keith Thurman, but we really wanted to see Earl Spence and Keith Thurman. That's the fight that the fans want to see. So yeah, it's all good. We could just like whatever we like, but when we have this discussion, let's generalize it. And a lot of fans are not happy.
No, but what I'm saying, but those are fickle fans, right? Oh, sorry, go.
Yeah, I wanted to jump in on that and piggyback off of what Punch was saying. That's the thing. That's what we have to get back to, and that's why, Smoke, sometimes you say to yourself, well, I don't care what this chat say in this group of people, but you have to take that in consideration because it's a massive, that's what these perspectives, it gives all of the fans, your perspective, Smoke, Wood's perspective, mine, Punch Drunk, and then they decide, like, okay, well, which one of these guys are making more sense? So we have to see what the other fans, what the Speak Your Mind Sports Talk family, what they're thinking about, what they, you know, how they're looking at this discussion. You know what I mean? G Boogie in the building. Guido, my man Guido, what's up with y'all fellas? And so when Punch Drunk says we have to generalize when we make these statements, it's probably better you do that. If you come with just your perspective and don't try to open your mind or look at all the perspectives, then you're going to catch backlash to your ideas because no one thinks alike. Like, we all have our own ideas. We all want different things. Certain things appeal to certain people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. I'm with it. It's just that I don't, you know, I could say that I'm speaking for all fans, but I don't think all fans was interested in the Thurman Spence fight. So just because a group of fans want that doesn't speak for all fans. I can say that, but I mean, really, what I'd like to do, what I do is give my perspective, and I'm looking at the ratings for the fights. So I'm seeing millions of people not trip. So, and I don't hear millions of people saying, yeah, I'm not going to watch Charlo because I wanted to see Harris, like Charlo and Hurd, and when Hurd lost, like guys lose and then Luster goes off the fights. Like that's just what happens.
Well,
I mean, there's different kinds of levels in boxing. Like when I look at what fans like and don't like, I look at ratings of fights and the trends in fighters and fights. I don't just go by what somebody is complaining about because they didn't get what they want when they want it. Like that's just the nature of fandom in boxing. And I mean, if you're going to say that those kinds of fans are allowing themselves to be abused by the sport, okay, maybe you should. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell the woman who's waiting for the guy to come out of prison, and I don't know what to tell fans who can't get around their own self-interest to appreciate what's happening in the sport.
Okay, one question, Smoke. In 168 pounds, what's the fight that most fans you think want to see in 168 pounds?
Probably
not named Canelo because he just got there.
Probably Canelo, Robert Plant.
No, not Canelo just got there. What fight that the fans want to see? And we're talking about PBC as well.
Canelo, Robert Plant, then Benavidez, Robert Plant.
Yes, sir. So now that's the fight that the fans, that most of the Caleb Plant and Benavidez. So now that's the fight that we want to see. If Caleb Plant fights somebody else, David Benavidez fights somebody else, it could be good. It could be Benavidez fighting Smith. It could be Caleb Plant fighting Billy Joe Saunders. But if that's the fight that the fans want to see, that's the fans. Yeah, we'll be okay with the other fights, but that's the fight that the fans want to see. So that's what I mean about generalizing stuff. We want to see Bud and we want to see Spence. That's the fight that the fans want to see. Right. But a Manny Pacquiao and Spence is okay.
Right, but it's not a zero-sum game. It's not like if you don't get that particular fight, then that's not like. Isn't there a list of fights? Because I said Canelo, Caleb Plant first, and you said nah, could throw that out there. But I mean, I get it. There's a list of fights that are more important to some fans more than other fans. But if that is the only way that you're consuming boxing, then I'm saying that maybe you're new to it and stick around a little bit longer. Maybe you just like to be disappointed and alone, waiting for things that ain't gonna actually happen or pan out for you.
Brother Canelo,
if that is the way that you want to experience boxing, and like you're an alone person waiting for somebody to come out of jail that ain't gonna do right once they get there. Okay, I mean, I can't tell nothing to the brother or the sister or anybody who chooses to live that way.
Bro, Canelo and Caleb Plant was not marinated whatsoever. Nobody was waiting for that fight. Nobody was calling for that fight.
But
is David Benavidez, Caleb Plant being marinated?
Yes.
Hold on right quick.
He's 24 years old.
Hold on right quick. What would you get ready to say, Corey?
I'm listening to our friends having a conversation, and what I hear from you is a hardcore boxing fan. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing a hardcore boxing fan that will watch boxing even if it is myself and D fighting. But boxing, that's good, that boxing has fans like those, and any sport has fans like those. But what really drives a sport, and I know you know this, Smoke, that what really drives a sport is casual fans. It's new recruits, it's new fans, and it's casual fans, and it's people who normally go about their business, their day-to-day business, not really being a fanatical of the sport. And those are the people that we want the sport to appeal to also, not just people like you and I who will watch any fight. So if the fights, if Usain Bolt is not running against Justin Gatlin, you might not have a lot of people turning up because those are the top people. And some, I know that the athletic season might go on from day one, and you don't have a lot of clashes between Justin Gatlin and Usain Bolt because they're not going to run at every meet that each other is, right? Promoters are going to want some over this one over this meet, and probably a meet is happening in another country at the same time, and another promoter wants Usain Bolt over that side, right? But then most people are going to watch the Olympics because Usain Bolt is going to now square off against Justin Gatlin, and that is the time that you have people who normally doesn't watch athletics. But when the Olympics come around, it usually throws the best against the best, and that time you have the whole world watching athletics. No, we want boxing to replicate that kind of thing. We in this genre and this kind of sport. We don't have an Olympics, but we have top fights that people want to see, and people who aren't necessarily like you, Smoke, who are hardcore fans. And because we do need casual fans, we do need people just coming in to watch an exciting fight, because that's what drives the sport. That's what makes the sport make money. It's not just the few casual fans. It's the wider populace. So we have to be careful how we just sit here and be comfortable, because we're seeing boxing and we like boxing so much. As long as there is glove being thrown at somebody, we're fine. We can't just sit for that. That's mediocrity. Yeah, that's what I have to say about that.
Yeah, no doubt. Somebody dropped off. I don't know who that was, but yeah, man. So I mean, let's talk about the WBC though. Something that I think some topics that Smoke can pretty much agree on, and we could go at so many angles with Sulaiman. He's cheating the fan out of getting the fights we want, and at times even the best fights, because Sulaiman steps in the middle at times when he really shouldn't. Even if whether Dillian White wins or loses or not, the fact that the man's been in the number one spot for so long and waited for a man to show it, the fact that the man even has the potential of a lawsuit lets you know that Sulaiman is not doing something right. The whole franchise belt mockery and foolishness is just enough in itself. We could probably have an entire live on that. What are you guys' feelings on the WBC and their issues, what they're bringing to the table, their problem? Punch Drunk, I'll let you.
I think they looking at it more as a bit. Well, it's always been a business, but now it's like full blown business, and it's like forget about the legacy. Now is like I said before on my channel, man, they making decision of drinking Patron and Don Julio. I mean, I don't think they're doing anything for the fans. I think that the how you say Vasily Lomachenko, Devin Haney stuff is a greedy move. It's just more sanctioning fees for two champions. Same way for Charlo, same way for Canelo. I think it's just a greedy move. I think they're just doing everything off business and not about legacy. That's my opinion. I really don't think that WBC at this point is the prestige belt federation, as the fighters used to say.
Yeah, what do you say, Smoke?
Yeah, I think there's a macro thing that people are missing out, right? So it's about the trends in boxing, what we've become used to, and what we expect now, right? So for me, I saw Muhammad Ali fight Leon Spinks on CBS TV. At that point, there was 13 channels on your TV dial, and not very many people, if anybody, had cable, right? Now there's hundreds of channels, right? There's only two belts also. 2 belts, 2 sanctioning bodies. There's 4 belts. There's 4 sanctioning bodies, over 100 something belts. And as my man South Croy was saying, the sport is driven by casual fans, right? So in order to break through all of this noise, you have to build a brand for yourself. You can't just be a fighter. You have to be a known fighter, which means you need to come up with some way to break through and differentiate yourself from the crowd. Yeah, it's a situation that I think the WBC is trying to deal with when they are marketing some guys over others. It's not an equal playing field over there. The more star power you have, the more privileges are afforded to you, and they're trying to actually, I feel like, keep up with the storm of content, just content in general, right? And definitely it's a business. Definitely it's venal. They have all of their issues. But I think they are trying to tackle just the reality of what it means to be a content producer and or be involved in content consumption, and also the idea of really what's happening in sports is this. You say cheat. um, One of the huge things that the WBC has that the other guys don't is this whole VADA thing. And since the implementation of VADA, I don't know if people have been following this trend, but a ton of their top guys have tested positive and been out of the sport. Right. So I think the WBC definitely has a lot to do with like some guys getting the breaks, other guys not. And I think they definitely have to do something to do with fans not getting the fights we want to see when we want to see them, or if at all. But I also think that they're dealing with some pretty um, pretty serious existential business issues with where the sport is right now.
I think the WBA also have that program as well.
Yeah, Wood. Oh, he's asleep, man. Yeah. South Korea, did you want to speak on that, man? That man.
No. Smoke is making a good point. Because somehow I don't want to sound as if I'm here to lambast the PBC. Like that's my main aim, because what Smoke was pointing out was another angle where the fans are ending up being cheated. So I take that point. I really had no rebuttal or anything. That's just
Yeah,
for me.
yeah, and see, and that's what I think. Go ahead, Cora.
Yeah, because that for me is my fear in the business. So when I saw this
Oh
title
no.
and you were talking about cheating, because ultimately what will happen is that if the fights that are to be put on are not put on, ultimately it will kill the sport. Boxing will go back to the time, like in the Klitschko reign, where people just weren't interested in boxing. People just weren't interested in boxing. I don't know if there wasn't the competition at the time wasn't or probably they just didn't like the style of Klitschko or or whatever, because he probably didn't have an exciting enough style for them, but to capture the casual audience. But somehow that is what I fear for the sport. And if I think that if fans don't get the kind of fight that they get excited about, then the sport will go back there. So it's not an issue that you can just, if you're a true boxing fan, you can't just wave this issue off as if it is nothing, because the end result to that can be detrimental for the sport. If people continue not to somehow make the fights, or most of the fights, or make the fights often enough that people want to see, then the sport is going to end up in trouble. What was the pulling what was the pulling point for boxing on a whole to be taking back a bit of a place in world sport and in the world's consciousness? There are a few elements. I know Canelo is in there. Then the rivalry, there was that rivalry and that back and forth with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. It stood for a lot. It caused a lot of talking points. It caused a lot of interest in the sport, right? that fight 2017 with Joshua again and Klitschko, that made a few casual people, a few more, just more than the hardcore fans started looking back in boxing in boxing's direction. And if these fights, so the Wilder fight didn't happen with AJ, right? We're not going to discuss who is to blame or that. We're not going to get back into that politics. But that fight didn't happen, right? And people had to kind of satisfy themselves with a Tyson Fury that was coming back, that some people weren't convinced that was quite at his best, and Deontay Wilder, exciting fight, but it didn't do great. The first fight didn't do great PPV numbers, right? People were excited to an extent, and it brought in some casual because it's Wilder and Fury has a name. Wilder has a name. Wilder has a belt. Had a belt at the time, so that created some excitement. But the real excitement was at the time was an Anthony Joshua Wilder fight. That was where the spice was, and that was what that rivalry was. What was bringing people back into the sport. And that fight didn't happen. And if these fights continue not to happen, then we're going to lose that casual base of the sport. That kind of $10 million, $20 million, $25 million for fight, $80 million contract, offers of $100 million. That wasn't there 6 years ago. It's because of the rivalry that I've spoken about. That is because, and if we continue not to get these fights, whether it is, and these saying that PBC has a lot of responsibility in some of these fights, not only in the heavyweight division.
Yo, South Croy, check this out, bro. Check this out, dog. What's up, Punch Drunk? What's up, Smoke?
What's good, John?
What's up, Johnny boy?
What's good?
Thanks for that. Thanks for that last night, DD.
Yeah, no doubt, dog. No doubt.
I'll tell you what, bro, and boxing's always gonna be number one for me, no matter what. Now, I don't mean to change the subjects or none of that other bullshit, but like, look, bro, it took them one fucking day in the UFC to make the best fight in the division. One day during a pandemic, dog. These motherfuckers is taking 5 years to make each fight in the best fight in each division, bro. That's why, and I just love fighting, period. So I'm gonna watch whatever. But the thing, like, dog, when you look at one and look at the other, because Spence Crawford takes 5 fucking years to make. Masvidal and Usman took 1 fucking day to make, dog. No what? I mean, I'm always gonna rock out with boxing, but no wonder the rest of these casuals fucking switch over to the other side. You know what I'm saying? Like, but by the way, real quick, I got my man Jorge Masvidal knocking the fuck out of Usman, by the way. Put your money up, dog. Let's go.
You might not get that fight.
Yeah. It's happening on Saturday, South Croy. Of course we're getting that fight. Masvidal, Scarface, motherfucker.
Yeah. Well,
I'm glad you'll get it.
Boxing is sport and UFC is an organization.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to go ahead. Well, Smoke, I listen. I love the comparisons on what we would like in boxing compared to UFC, WWE, or whatever. How easy it is for them to make fights, but there's reasons it's easier to make fights, and there's reasons that we get those fights easier. They have less chains and avenues to break things. Than UFC.
Can I give another analogy? That boxing is the wife and UFC is the mistress that fucks you good and blow you real good, and your wife don't give you nothing and stuff like that. But she got the family and friends and stuff like that. You don't like that one, Smoke, either, huh?
Hey, man, listen, to each his own.
Excuse my language. Sorry, it's a Christian show.
Whatever floats your boat. If you like to be all by yourself, heartbroken behind a locked up dude that ain't gonna treat you right, I'm not gonna hate on your game. Whatever floats your boat. If you want mistresses and all that, make it go, man.
But seriously though, like, they have Dana White and Vince McMahon have total autonomy, and when you have that, you can just make this stuff happen a lot easier. They don't have to consult with the Bob Arums and the Eddie Hearn. That's just first 2 people they have to consult with to get the fight the managers and everything else in the way. Look, man, the fighters in the UFC is go time or no time. That's the culture of the UFC. It's go time or it's no time. So when Dana White says go time, you get your ass in the ring or you get no time at all. You'll be fighting once every 2 years. And those fighters know that. So UFC culture is go time or no time. With boxing, you can't even create that culture. Because if you say no time, they go to the next network, the next
It
promotion.
Yeah, if the Bell Federation start acting like IBF and be strict and enforce mandatories.
But you would have to expect all four of them to do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If all Bell Federation do
There's
that.
too many variables in boxing for us to. We can listen. I think that we all agree on Johnny Boy's sentiment. I don't think any of us say, "Nah, fuck that Johnny Boy. I don't want boxing to be that way." Bullshit. We all want boxing to be that way. We get the fights right away when the fuck we want to get. We all want that. You know what I mean? But the reality of that versus what they're doing over there at the UFC and WWE and why they can do that. It's just not a reality in boxing. It's just simply not a reality in boxing because there's too many hands in the cookie jar.
Exactly.
UFC and fucking WWE got two hands in the cookie jar. Vince McMahon, and then they let maybe one other person hand in the cookie jar. But it's 16 fucking hands all in that goddamn cookie jar trying to pull cookies out when it ain't but goddamn 10 cookies in there. Well, wait, if it's 10 cookies in there, 16 people, this ain't gonna work.
You 1,000% right. I was just pointing out to the casual, like motherfucker that's looking forward to Spence Crawford or Pacquiao Crawford or Fury AJ. They waiting. Well, them other cats ain't making you wait. You know what I'm saying? That's all I was trying to say. And like I said, boxing's always going to be my heart. But
real quick, Smoke. I'm gonna let you go. IBT in the building, Immortal Boxing Truth. This is another one of my guys. And like I said, y'all definitely check IBT out if you like what you hear. Punch that subscribe button. My man Tank Nation in the building. Tank said, D, I saw your debate with Wheelchair Monty Brown. Sugar D is still undefeated. Yeah, man. That shit was funny. Thank you, Tank. I appreciate that, fam. That shit was funny. But yeah, man, I mean, they just got to get it together, bro. They got to get it together because, look, man, with this pandemic going on, and all of these fans that are hollering cheat. This is my thing. Y'all worried about Fury cheating Wilder when that's potentially, and the potential is on the high side that it's not true. Okay. Listen, man, y'all need to worry about things we have that's evident. That's my point, and that's what I'm talking about here. It's evident that Sulaiman and the WBC, especially introducing that franchise belt, are cheating us, fam. All of you boxing fans, the WBC they cheating us as the fans out of the good fight. Okay,
man, they need to get rid of a couple of these fucking belts, and they need to get rid of a couple of these fucking weight classes.
Never happen. They do.
Yeah, I know it'll never happen in a perfect world, bro. In a perfect world, bro, I go back to the original 8 weight classes plus cruiserweight since the heavyweights have gotten so much bigger over the years. In a perfect world, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Maybe if you wanted to keep straw weight or minimum weight, so you got 10 weight classes, bro. I'm sick of these dudes talking about, well, I'm at 122 and you're at 126 because we're in a different weight class. We can't fight. Go eat an extra fucking hamburger. Then you win the fuck up out of here with that shit.
All right, guys. So let's shift topics a little bit because I think we talked enough about this, but I wanted to get y'all idea on Ryan Garcia and Luke Campbell. Who y'all got winning? Why? I don't care who starts. Johnny Boy, you just stepped in. You had the least voice time. What do you think? Who gets the first? Who wins that fight? I know you're not really big on Ryan Garcia, but
okay,
assessment on that fight.
Okay,
Jose Yepes, what's up, my people? Go ahead. My bad, John.
No, it's all good. Well, this is solely based on the fact if Ryan Garcia can locate his fucking huevos over here, but I got Luke Campbell knocking him the fuck out.
Woo.
Way too much experience, bro. Ryan stand up stiffer than the preacher's dick, dog. He's gonna get clapped with that left hand, bro.
Oh, knockout.
I got, and I'll put, yeah, man.
What round?
What round? Let me see. We'll say 8-9. We'll say 8-9. Not TKO. I'm talking about knocking him the fuck out flatline.
But Johnny, that's bold. Let me tell you why I think that's bold. Now, I will say this. I actually picked Luke Campbell to win that fight too. Not in the succession you do, and I'll break it down. But I think it is bold to pick a knockout simply because we know Ryan is defensively irresponsible. And he's working on that. And I believe Reynoso's getting him better and better with that. And that check left hook is dangerous. So sometimes when you're going for that chin, don't miss. Because if you get popped with that check left hook, it could be not night for you. But outside of that, we don't know about his chin. What if the young kid got a rock solid chin? And then Luke Campbell lands that punch. He chews it up like bubblegum and comes back at him. That's the thing. So I would be cautious on calling the knockout because we don't know if his chin is good. We don't know if his chin is bad. The fact of the matter is that chin hasn't been tested. I'm not saying I don't agree with the win, because I do. I think Luke wins too. But to call a knockout, I just think it's bold. It's your prediction, and I'm cool with it, but it's a bold one.
Nah, hey man, I'm just going against the tide, dog. I think Luke Campbell's way too experienced for him. He's a solid fighter. I mean, he arguably beat Linares, who I think very highly of, and he gave Lomachenko a good fight, who I also think very highly of.
Right, and that's why.
Not to mention the kid's an Olympic gold medal winner and all that other shit he did in the amateurs and the ABC and I think. I'd like to see, speaking of Ryan's chin, man, I'd like to see some of them sparring, little play game sparring sessions with him and Canelo, bro. Because Canelo ain't going full blown on him, but I'd like to see that shit too.
Right.
Yeah, this is gonna sound a little bit crazy, but trust me, I use the term all the time. I think Ryan Garcia has the pinata chin, and it's just hanging up in the air. They're waiting for somebody to clip it and get all that candy. I say the same thing about Monster Inoue. I say the same thing to anybody who sits there with throws the combinations with the chin in the air. But yeah, I like the fight. I haven't picked the winner yet. I do the experience versus Luke Campbell has great experience of losing big fights and making a good accounting for himself. And what his deficiencies are, I think, that left hook is dangerous for a left-hander. That's right.
Yeah. Smoke, you got muffled a little bit at the end, but we heard most of it. But Unbiased Boxing Talk. What's up, Unbiased? Well, yeah, I get you.
What up?
I get you. I like Luke Campbell too. Moonshine. Mr. Moonshine.
Man, the hardcore boxing fans know that Luke Campbell has the better experience. Probably have shown more, had the better opponents, and also I don't like to take the amateur out the like analyzing this fight. You gotta implement the amateurs, because amateurs, especially in Europe, they fight without the headgear. When you're fighting in that type of, in the medals and the pan games and all that stuff, you've seen a lot of different styles, and Luke Campbell have seen probably all the different styles you could think of. Ryan Garcia, I think he did his thing in the amateurs, but only in America. I'm not sure what he did, like overseas, internationally. So he haven't even fought Southpaw yet, and I don't know, man. I think the hope is for Ryan Garcia to win, just because it's going to make probably more money with him, Devin Haney, and things of that nature. But as a boxing head and technique wise, Luke Campbell, I got Luke Campbell 60-40.
Yeah.
So Corey, what you think? Luke Campbell, Ryan Garcia.
Ryan, probably I'm going to go against the grain a bit. Yeah. I like an undefeated fighter. Garcia, when he isn't defeated, there's something about a fighter for me that
Yeah.
has fought several times and not take a beating. There's something in a fighter that knows how not to lose, even if they're not doing very well. So my pick is based on that. Is based on that a lot. I go with Ryan Garcia, and I think the fight will go the distance. I know that Luke Campbell is a skilled fighter, but I'm going with the undefeated man in this one. Right.
I just want to clarify. I'm going for Ryan to beat him, but I'm just saying if we're going technically wise, Luke Campbell.
Yeah. No,
Yo, what up? Man, listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way a stack. I know most of you guys probably won't agree with this, but I'm not high on Luke Campbell. I'm just not, bro. The shots that Linares was landing, quick hands landing on him, I could see Ryan landing those same shots. Like he got the same type of hand speed Linares has. Obviously, Linares has more experience, but Ryan has a lot of power. And that left hook, I see it landing on Luke. For me, I think Luke's chin, if it holds up, then Luke Campbell could win. I would favor Luke, but I don't know if he's going to take Ryan's shots flush and still be standing. That's where it really is for me.
So you telling me Ryan hits harder than Linares does?
Oh, hell yeah. Linares, listen,
Okay.
Linares ain't shit, bro. I don't know. The shit with me is like, I don't get why everybody now all of a sudden is high on Linares, but when Linares fought and won that belt from, does anybody on this panel remember who he beat at 135 for that belt? No, right? So literally, Linares, he's been knocked out in 1 or 2 rounds by guys moving up in weight. You know, like he's really not that good. You know what I mean? He was getting his ass beat by Kevin Mitchell. Like, ugh. I hate talking about Linares.
Hey, I'm about real quick. My brother from the same mother, K Harvey in the building, enjoying the show. We appreciate you, K Harvey. Appreciate the super chat, fam. Always appreciate it. Yeah, dog. Well, my turn.
But I was.
Hold up. Did you give your breakdown? Yeah, your mic messing up, Smoke. But back out and come back in, Smoke. You like we can't even really hear you, dog. But check it out, man. My thing with Ryan Garcia is the lack of experience. And Smoke, you know, he said that Luke Campbell fought and lost those fights. He lost well. We can really just talk about 2 fights because the Mendy fight was arguably an arguable fight, the first one. Second one, he came back and cleaned them up. You know, unanimous decision, he took care of business. So I don't even look at the Mendy situation, but look who he lost to. When you talk about, you know, Lomachenko. So you can put but so much of a strike on him for that. He gave Lomachenko problems in that fight. Ryan Garcia has not seen the level of Lomachenko. He hasn't seen the level of Linares. He was supposed to fight him, and it would have been an older Linares, but I was ready to give Ryan credit for the Linares fight. I said that, but we never got to see it. So the facts are, Ryan, what is he proving? And that's my thing. This is why I'm going with Luke for, you know, he's not going to be able to just go in there and have his way with Luke Campbell as he has with his other opponents. It's not going to be that easy. If Lomachenko, who's definitely considered number 1, definitely much more experienced than a Ryan Garcia, definitely has the tricks of the trade, tools in his bag, more than a Ryan Garcia. If he couldn't go in there and just have his way with Luke Campbell, what the hell makes me think this prospect can? Because he got fast hands and a good check left hook? No. I can't go along with that.
And to be honest, I don't even think Canelo could help him out because he's not even southpaw.
Nah,
that's
Reynoso can help him out. Fuck that. He's being trained. He's by Canelo, but he's being trained by Reynoso. So I'm going to give Reynoso all the credit in the world. Reynoso can help him out with whatever he fucking needs, bro.
Man,
You know how many times Luke Campbell hits the ground now, man? That dude stays on the canvas.
That's his problem. Like, I hear everything you guys are saying. The amateur background, the Ivan Mendy fight was close. It could have went his way. Like, that's cool, but who's Ivan Mendy, bro?
No,
and then when you put it together, like
who the fuck is Francisco Fonseca? A fucking Momo, son. What is
that doesn't matter.
About?
He knocked him out. That doesn't matter. Ryan
it does matter. Who's
Ryan didn't lose to that guy.
It don't matter neither.
Luke Campbell lost to Ivan. That's the difference right there. And back to what I was saying though, like Luke Campbell's he's good, but he lost to everybody that you guys mentioned. Yeah, he avenged his loss, but initially he lost. You know what I'm saying? And that doesn't mean he's not listen, Luke Campbell to me, I think he's if I were to do a top 10 in that division, I think Luke Campbell's in there. So I'll give him that much respect. But to me, you know, he's not I don't think he's the elite of that top 10. I wouldn't put him like top 5 because I do think prospects can beat him. If you put him in the ring with T.O., I think T.O. ices him. Ryan has the potential. Ryan has the potential to knock him out because, like Smoke just said, he tastes the canvas a lot, and not only that, his defense is okay. He gets hit, so I mean, I could see Ryan winning. Me personally, I would favor the fight in Luke Campbell's favor because of the inexperience of Ryan. However, I could see Ryan knocking him out too.
Okay, now let me say this real quick, bro. Who do you give more credit to? The kid that's undefeated fighting bums or the kid that goes in there and fights two of the best guys in the division and loses close fights?
Ivan Mendy was not one of the best guys.
I'm not talking about Ivan.
Talking Linares and Lomachenko.
So I mean, those were good fights for him. Yeah, he got some experience, but he still lost.
Yeah, and they were good fights, though. He gave them both a hell of a time. Ryan just flat out ain't fought nobody, dog.
We could have said the same shit about Teofimo. Like, actually, matter of fact, people were saying that.
That's different, bro. Teofimo just went in there and clapped the champion in 2 rounds, bro.
But before that, I was debating people about when.
Hold on right quick, Unbiased. Hold on real quick. Listen, I just want to get this out the way, Unbiased. This one for you. Ain't nobody on this panel using Mendy as a measuring stick. So let's just not even go back to Mendy. I said we shouldn't even pay attention to him. So nobody's using him as a measuring stick because you keep going back to Mendy. We talking about Lomachenko and Linares really when we're measuring Luke Campbell. Nobody's using Mendy. And even if you tried to use Mendy, he's probably better or equivalent to anybody Ryan Garcia's fought, but we're not even using Mendy.
No, I'm not using him as a measuring stick. I'm just saying that's who he lost to.
We're not
like if you want to use Lomachenko as a measuring stick, how many rounds did Luke Campbell win?
4.
I gave him 4.
4 rounds. He won 4 rounds against the best at 135, and Ryan Garcia has seen nothing on that level. So he at least won 4 rounds against that man.
I gave him 8-4 plus the knockdowns.
I gave him 4 rounds as well.
Yeah. Or knockdown. What was there? 1 knockdown in that fight? 2? What was it? 1 or 2? I can't remember. But yeah, so it was some old shit like 116, 111 on my card. Something like that.
And I'm not mad at anybody favoring Luke Campbell. Me, myself, I am favoring Luke Campbell because of
Campbell been on the canvas like 4 or 5.
I'm just saying, to counter that, even my own point of I'm favoring Luke Campbell, right? I'm countering my own point. I could see Ryan knocking him the fuck out too because of his flaws. That's my only point.
Because of Fonseca.
Ryan's power is serious. And we've seen Luke Campbell taste the canvas. His defense is, it's okay. And he gets tagged. So, yeah. I can see him get knocked out.
Let me catch this super chat, but I agree with that Unbiased for sure. Crying over $200K Wait till Ryan hears what Dana is paying. Right. He isn't fighting Cameron. Yeah, exactly. Like, come on, man. That's something we gotta look at too. Ryan crying over the money, and that's what I was like, man. If he thinking he should get $1 million against, 200,000, 500,000 against Tanahara, what is Ryan going to be expecting for this Luke Campbell? Could money get in the way? That's where I was getting ready to move to next. Could money get in the way of this fight happening? Because Ryan Garcia apparently thinks he's worth more than he is at this point. Jordan C, thank you for the super chat, my man. Always coming through with the love.
I think at this point it's Golden Boy. It's Golden Boy's call at this point.
Yeah,
I don't think.
I agree. Hold on, real quick, part before you take off. I'm gonna let you go. I just wanted to holler at a couple of people that stepped in, real quick, fam. My man T-Tone Toledo, YC Rahman. What's up with you, fam? Who else stepped up in here? Iceman, I called y'all. Pimp Smack. That's what I said. Pimp Smack. What's up with you, Pimp Smack? All right, Julius R in the building. What's good with you, Julius? All right, go ahead, Punch. Take off, fam.
Now what I'm saying was that I think that's it. Ryan Garcia has given Golden Boy the go. Now it's up to the negotiations. They already started negotiations probably today with Eddie Hearn or Matchroom, DAZN, all those people. So
yeah, he's already accepted. So this is no more of a question. He's turned on the Thiago situation, Thiago, or however you say the kid's name, with the WBO, because that was also a question too. He could have taken that mandatory route and been in play for the winner of Lomachenko Teofimo. And then so he would have gotten the winner of that fight. Or he could take this one, which to me is a more valid fight, and then he gets the shot at Haney. Mm-hmm. So, and I think it's a safer fight. It's a safer route anyway, because I want to be honest. I think he has less of a chance to beat Teofimo or Lomachenko versus beating Devin Haney. I think he has more of a chance to beat Devin Haney than he has to beat either of those two guys. So
I agree.
Probably the better path for him anyway.
Yep.
Man, I got another little theory for you right here. Check this out, bro. Good, hey, Punch Strong. Good video, by the way. Last night I saw the Hispanic video too.
Oh, good looking out, bro. Good looking out, looking out, man.
You know, I'm a WAP, but I got all the Puerto Ricans in my family.
Good looking out, good looking out.
Yeah, no problem.
Good looking at.
But check this out. Check this out, bro. I think, in my opinion, Oscar's pissed off at little Ryan for talking all that shit on social media, dog. And I think
set up.
Yeah, I think he's like, okay, you want to bite the hand that feeds you, son? Shit, we're gonna throw you to the wolves now and see what kind of stones you got in your shorts, bro. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the move right there. You wanted to be biting the hand that feeds. Okay, well now we're gonna feed you to the dogs, bro. Yeah.
I think he's known for that though.
If Luke Camel is the wolf or the dog, then if Ryan Garcia is who he says he should be able to go handle that, no problem. Like dudes, lesser names than Linares and lesser names than Lomachenko have dropped that dude. So I don't, you know.
Hey, Smoke, real quick. Hey, Kevin, my boy too. What's up, Kevin? I ain't even see you slide through. Shout out to my man Kevin, stepped up in the building. But Kevin, you know how I do, and I'm getting ready to come at you, dog. Now listen here. You can tell us we tripping about what we see in that ring, but the way you prove you know what you see in the ring is join this here prediction league. That's the information right there. You go on Facebook, Fantasy Boxing Prediction League. You see that little blue message over there. You pop a message in there, and you are part of the league. You get all the information. You can get in on the picks and see. Proves to us that we don't know what the hell we talking about when we look in that ring. I'm telling you what I saw in that fight is Luke Campbell winning 4 rounds of that fight. Now.
Yeah, I haven't made a prediction yet. I don't know. I'm not saying you're wrong at all. I'm not saying you're wrong.
That's the Kevin. That's the Kevin Smoke. His comment is on the. But Kevin's my man though. Kevin's my man, 20 grand. I just had to take a shot at him because he was saying that all of us up here that was saying Luke Campbell won 4 rounds was tripping, and I'm like, no, I seen him winning 4 rounds.
To the whole, Golden Boy setup, it's not like we didn't see Saddam Ali, Jaime Munguia, right? That seemed like a setup to me. So it's not like I'm not saying that Oscar De La Hoya wouldn't set him up, right? I'm not saying that Oscar De La Hoya isn't salty about it. I'm just saying that, man, Luke Campbell is the guy that if you're a Ryan Garcia, that's the guy that you want to cut your teeth on and have as a scalp on your wall.
The craziest part is if
hold on right quick. Let me get with Boxer Monster. Boxer Monster said Loma's not the best. If you have Teofimo KO him, no, right now until Teofimo KO him, who's considered the best at 135 Monster? Keep it real. Until Teofimo gets in there and does it, who's considered the best at 135? Keep it above. It's
Loma. They're the top two in the division, regardless, bro.
All right, it's Lomachenko.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, if Ryan ices Luke Campbell, man, that to me will speak volumes of Ryan's potential, man. If he knocks him out in 5 rounds.
You know what? I got him unbiased. If he knocks out Luke Campbell, I put Ryan ahead of all of them, right with Teofimo.
But don't y'all think Golden Boy usually do this? Test their fighters. He did it with Danny Garcia, Amir Khan, Adrian Broner, Maidana. Keith Thurman, Diego Chavez when they was working with Golden Boy, Canelo Alvarez, Mayweather.
Yeah.
Golden Boy usually does test his fighters.
They didn't test Wilder.
That's the one off, D. That's the one off.
Pow, 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 pow.
I hope this fight happens.
I threw a low blow right there, Punch Drunk. I threw a low blow right there.
All right, one.
I hope this shit happens, dog, because I like that Linares Fortuna fight too. That's a good little scrap.
Yeah.
That's a good little scrap right there too. Fucking but I'm gonna be telling y'all afterwards, after the fact, I'm gonna be going, he ain't pretty no more, son. He ain't pretty no more.
Hey, Tank David, Tank Nation. I kind of agree with this too. Tank Nation said Oscar is making sure Ryan stays undefeated at this point. His career and his picks. Yeah. He's definitely trying to lead him down now. This fight right here is risky. But he's definitely leading him down that path.
But how's the travel? How's the traveling? Because Luke Campbell's in the UK. So where and when is this fight could possibly happen?
You say what? Say that again.
Who, me?
Yeah. What did you just say?
Oh, I'm talking about the Luke Campbell and Ryan Garcia. The travel ban. I don't know when they lift that up. So when are they really trying to do this fight?
Well, Mark on Rival kind of cleared that up. He said that Luke Campbell can travel over to, I think it was Scotland, and then there's no travel ban from England to Scotland, and then go from Scotland to Ireland to the U.S.
Got it.
Then when he gets to the U.S., all he got to do is just sit for the 14-day quarantine. Then he get good money after that.
Yeah, Scotland's a jump, popping a beat away from England too. It's like right there too. So,
yeah.
Right. So that's how that situation will work out. Where Linares was stuck at, there was no hot fight for him. He was stuck. They won't let him. It was banned. Period. So he was stuck. You know what I mean? No in, no out.
Oh yeah, he's in Japan, ain't he? That's right, D. I forgot about that.
Right, that was the situation with that. So he didn't have an alternative route to get out, but Luke Campbell does. So.
Linares going over there and training with them Kill Bill motherfuckers and shit over there.
Jose, what's up, Jose?
Not much, just right here enjoying the stream, guys. But I'm with. I don't think Campbell's that good. If he beats Ryan, that just means Ryan ain't really shit. You know what I mean? But I'm with Bias. All of a sudden, Campbell is a top lightweight. I mean, he lost to Linares. Like enough said, Linares sucks. Linares got beat up by Mexican drunk and Pablo Cano. So all Ryan has to
Yayo
do is
Thompson,
buy.
man.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
natural. That's a natural featherweight fighting a 140-pounder. Get out of here.
What about Yayo Thompson?
Excuses.
Yayo Thompson was moving up in weight and knocked Linares out in the round. Like that was come on. Like Linares gets stretched. I call him he's the Venezuelan American to me. Like but less achieved. Because he stayed getting knocked out. I mean Lomachenko beat him, yeah, but Lomachenko, you know, I thought
That's
Lomachenko was gonna
incorrect,
just
unbiased.
ice him.
Linares is a 3-weight world champion. Right?
All right, Johnny boy. If Ryan beats Campbell, are you gonna be super high on Ryan now?
No. If he goes in there and beats Campbell, I'm gonna give the kid his props. He went in there and stepped it up and beat a top fucking 5 guy in the division. Of course, I'm gonna give him his props.
So you're gonna have Ryan as a. Because see me, I'm gonna be the other way. If Ryan beats Campbell, I'm not gonna be super high on Ryan yet. I'm not gonna call him a top guy. I'm not gonna put him above Theo, Loma, or even Tank yet.
Yeah.
Nah.
Hold on.
I'm gonna keep it real because before the fight, I'm saying that Campbell's not that good. Go ahead.
Hold on, Johnny, hold on. I'm biased. Be careful before you team up with Jose. And let me break down why Jose is not going to look at it as no big deal. Because it doesn't fucking matter who you was putting in front of Ryan Garcia. Jose was going to pick Ryan Garcia because Jose always, and he is historically always gone for the Mexican. Always.
Well, first, I'm not teaming up with anybody. I'm just saying my opinion. But I was just gonna say,
Jose is extremely biased with his.
That's not true. My fandom is with the Mexican fighters. I'll agree with that. But when it comes to picking a fight or making a prediction, I'll go the logical way. I'll leave my bias to the side. I'll be rooting for Ryan, but I'm not saying Ryan is a top prospect, and I don't think Campbell is that good either. So if Ryan beats Campbell, that's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna have Ryan all of a sudden a superstar or the best fighter at 135. I still won't have him ahead of Theo. I won't have him ahead of Lomachenko. I won't have him ahead of Tank, even though I don't think highly of Tank. I still think Tank will beat him. My fandom will be with Ryan if he fights Tank, but I know that Tank will probably beat him at this point. So I think you kind of got me confused there a little bit, D. My fandom is with the Mexican fighting, but I won't pick against them. And when you ask me my prediction, I won't. It was two different things.
Yeah. I was picking with you, Jose, but you do always defend the Mexican. You know you do. I'm just saying this though. If Ryan beats Luke Campbell, I for sure put him over Devin Haney because and Tank Davis because I see Luke Campbell. The way I look at Luke Campbell is I think he has a chance with those two guys.
I agree, D. Totally agree.
If I feel like Luke Campbell has a chance to beat Devin Haney and Tank Davis too, and Ryan goes in there and mops him up, bro, I've got to give Ryan all the credit in the world, bro. I have to for beating Luke Campbell, especially if he goes in there. Say he goes in there and has an impressive performance like he did versus the Fonseca. Not first round, but he just go in there and mop him up in like 4 or 5 rounds. Bro, fuck that, dog. You got to give Ryan his respect, dog.
Better, maybe over Haney, yes, but with Tank, he'll probably be there because Tank did beat Pedraza, so it'll be like the same kind of victory, I think.
Yeah, but
Pedraza is definitely more accomplished than Luke Campbell.
Right. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Tank will have Ryan on that fight, but they'll be up there with each other.
That would never happen, Ken Smack. That gotta be a Hefe or one of them.
Oh, Pinch Max trolling. And I also agree with Punch Drunk. Oscar is known for throwing his fighters into the wolves. He's done that a lot. I mean, Oscar was like that as a fighter. Honestly, Oscar fought everybody, and Oscar he ain't afraid to make him fight. Let's not forget he made Leo Santa Cruz cry because he wanted to make him fight on Ricondale back in the day. And that's when Leo went crying to Al Haymon. And I know this because Leo Santa Cruz, he's from right here from the LA area. So it was a big disappointment when he didn't want to fight on Leo Santa Cruz because everybody was on Leo Santa Cruz wanting him to fight him. We were pumping him up. But then he went crying to Al Haymon, and somehow, some way, Al Haymon didn't make that fight, and he made Leo Santa Cruz a freaking millionaire and made him all kinds of money. I don't know how, but he was able to do that.
Hey, he made
Jose,
Danny fight
That was
Batiste too.
Jose, I like Leo Santa Cruz. He's a class act. He's a nice kid, but fuck, he's got to fight somebody, man. Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I like Leo, but come on, man.
Yeah,
Like,
but yeah, that was Oscar. Though. Oscar made him. He was gonna make him fight Rigo, and Leo started crying. He went to Al Heyman, and he somehow, some way. That's when Oscar was going through his problems, and Al Heyman was able to get him off Golden Boy, and the rest is history.
he should have took that Gary Russell fight, bro. Especially after he fucking wrapped around
Hell
his
yeah.
papa. And shit.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody gives Leo a shot against Tank. So if he takes that fight, that's definitely fighting somebody.
Of course.
Oh yeah. Now with Leo Santa Cruz in that situation, I have no complaints for him, none at all. Tank Davis, no, you get no credit for that fight. I give Tank zero credit for that fight. Leo Santa Cruz, I give him all the credit in the world. That's just how I see that fight. First and foremost, your little fat ass already moved up, so going back down is unacceptable, especially fighting a guy that's moving up in a weight that you're going down to. That's absolutely ridiculous, bro. No, I give Tank no credit, especially coming after a Gamboa fight. You struggled, but why? You went 12 rounds, but why? You had an opponent in front of you who had an Achilles injury. So why did you even struggle? I don't care what the reasons are. You shouldn't even have went 12 rounds with a get leg Gamboa. And then to be fighting a Leo Santa Cruz coming up from 126, and you're going down to 135, a weight class that you couldn't be disciplined enough in to keep the weight right. Man, hell no, you don't get no credit for that. None at all.
That fight was political too.
Not for me. He gets no credit. I don't want to hear nothing about no weight draining and all of that dumbness.
I ain't never.
Velasquez, Teofimo Loma. I got Teofimo to take over, baby.
Oh, you switch your pick now? I thought you was going with Loma.
Yeah, no. I mean, I told you I was back then when I told you that I'm biased. I told you I was still doing study, but I've been doing study and I've been talking and doing study, and I'm telling you, bro, Teofimo gonna put him away.
Yep.
Is that official yet, D, or they're still talking about it?
Well, it's official that Teofimo was gonna put him away. As far as the fight's concerned,
I'm talking about the fight, D, the fight date.
Yeah, they announced the fight. It's supposed to be happening. That part is official.
No, they switched. No, they just changed targeted date to tentative date.
What does that mean?
Oh, okay.
It means Bob's playing with it means Bob's playing with our emotions. That's what it means.
No, it's not. This is what it really means, guys. And this is going to be concerning certain fights, period. Not just Arabs or the PBCs or Eddie Hearns or anyone. Fans have to be associated. So they're going to announce fights and announce when they plan for these things to happen. December 19th, November 12th, whatever the fuck they put on there. But if they don't lift these restrictions, you can guarantee that fight ain't happening. Just like the Wilder and Fury trilogy, December 19th. So we all got our mouths set for December 19th. If they can't pack any fans in that arena, I can guarantee you that December 19th date will be rescheduled.
Pops, he said that the fight is going to be happening.
Yeah. Steven said that the fight's going to happen. Die Hard Casuals, what's up with your fam? Yeah, Die Hard said, but I feel Ryan is talented enough to beat Luke. I believe he is too. I'm not saying it's a foregone conclusion. I'm just saying that I picked Luke Campbell. I'm not saying that Ryan Garcia has no possible chance. I think it's a good fight. I just picked Luke Campbell. But as me saying it's a good fight, I look at good fights as a fight that either guy has the potential to win the fight. That's what I look at as a good fight. This guy could win, this guy could win. Who you think gonna win? I think Luke's gonna win. But could the other guy win? Sure. That's what makes it a good fight.
Yep. I agree with you, D, on that.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
that's
a
what
good
makes
fight.
it a good fight.
It's a damn good fight. It's
Yeah.
better than Ryan for 200K versus TBD.
Oh, for sure, bro. For sure. That's what you call a worthless fight. A fight that's completely worthless, in my opinion. The boxing Jedi in the building. What's good with you? What's good with you? So, Devin Haney, does he make a fight while he waits, or does he just wait?
I thought he was in line to fight Campbell, but it looks like Ryan's about to steal that Campbell fight as well.
Man, I've said it
He needs
enough, man. He's gonna fight a tune-up.
Maybe he
Yeah,
should fight
good
the other
tune-up.
guy, Linares,
Yeah, he's
since
gonna fight
everybody's propping up Linares. They maybe
Maybe.
Linares has a
Knock
fight. He's fighting
Linares
for a
out.
tuna, I think, isn't he?
Yeah, Linares is fighting for a tuna.
Not for a tune-up. Yeah,
Fortuna. Yeah,
Oh,
Fortuna
yeah,
probably.
yeah, no. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
Well,
a
No,
tune-up.
I'm saying he
I
can't
would
fight
say
Linares.
this. How,
He,
how about
Fortuna's not a tune-up.
how about
Leave Linares. It's a good fight.
look, how about Tank Davis drop the Leo fight and fight Devin Haney?
that would be a good fight. And instead of
Yeah,
Leo
I watch
fighting
it.
Tank, she should fight Gary Russell in a perfect world. That would be way better.
That's a big fight. They won't do it without a gate. They'll wait for 2021, 22.
Yeah, I have less faith that those guys will ever fight than I have in Tio Loma. I think actually Tank and Devin Haney will never fight.
Yeah, I don't think so either, man. Devin
Hey,
Haney
D.
said it again. He said it again on the live that he's going to 140 the next after his next fight. Maybe that's true, or maybe he's going to be moving up and down. I don't know.
Yeah, but Devin
Well,
Haney's talking about moving up. Tank's talking about moving down.
That's why we're not going to see that fight.
As far as
Shit,
I'm concerned with Tank, he's just talking. And
Man,
Leonard Ellerby,
oh my bad, D.
and them, like, it just makes no sense to me. The dude had problems. Yes, he came back on the scale and was able to make weight. But the fact that he had to come back on the scale is saying he had issues making weight at 135. How the hell do you have issues making weight at 135? You moved to 135 because you had issues making weight at 130. And now you're talking about going down to 130.
Yo, D,
Yeah.
D, hold on, Smoke. D, how the fuck do you move up in weight and still miss weight, dog? That's all I got to say.
Right.
How do you move up in weight and then still miss weight, dog? That kid's just a fuck up, bro. That's what it is. I don't care. Yeah. He's good. Don't get me wrong. He's got plenty of talent, but homeboy needs to go watch Brock's Tale again.
Waste of talent.
I don't buy Tank as a lightweight anyway. He had a double chin at 136 pounds. I do not think that he should take it. He should, if he's going to live the life, I think he's a 130-pound fighter. The most he can get up to is 135.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Tank, he already maxed out at 135 this early in his career, because he can go to 140. So yeah, he needs to switch something up. Maybe get a professional. What you call those people that cook for you, the chefs or nutritionists, whatever.
They enabling his bullshit. That's what it is, man. They enabling his promoters, the WBA, giving him 2 hours to make weight. Never heard of that in my life. 2 hours, you could run a half marathon. In my opinion, what Gamboa should have done is what this guy did. I think it was who's Nadi was supposed to be fighting, and he came out overweight, and they said, nah, I ain't gonna fight because he wasn't professional enough.
Who was?
I think Nadi. Remember Nadi?
Eddie.
His
Yeah,
last.
Luis.
Who's his opponent that said he wouldn't fight him because he came unprofessional? He came overweight.
Yeah, he came like 8 pounds overweight. It's not like he was a half a pound off neither. He was
I
way.
know what you're talking about. Yeah, Bob Allen, like he's a disgrace for boxing. They kicked him out of the hotel and everything. Who was that guy, man? I know what you're talking about, Punch.
Yeah.
They kicked him out the hotel and everything. Sent him packing. They sent him back home on the bus.
You would have gave him 2 hours. He would have water weight. He would have lost that in water weight. That's what Tank did that.
Yeah, man, but you could die, man. You could kill somebody though, like 8 pounds in 2 hours. That's not safe.
That isn't safe.
No. What I'm saying is that they gave him 2 hours to make weight. That never happens in boxing. That was the WBA. But that's enabling. Tank.
Tank isn't.
You need to teach him a lesson.
Listen, I'm sure Gamboa didn't want to miss out on the tape. I'm sure Gamboa, if he had an issue, would have lodged one. I don't think that he's trying to miss out on a payday versus like 1 hour versus 2. That's just the fight's too big.
That's another one of those irrelevant points. Although that's true, and I actually agree that Gamboa wouldn't have gave a shit, that's still besides the point. The point is what Punch Drunk said it was, regardless of how Gamboa feels. That point.
No, I'm saying I agree with his point, but I'm saying money talks. That's the issue. That the WBA, if the fight is too big, WBA wants those sanction fees. Gamboa ain't sweating, like you said. The other guy is like, nah, I'm pulling out. I'm not messing with that. The sanction bodies gotta get paid. The commissioners gotta get paid. The network's waiting for you. You want to work in the sport again? you give that guy 2 hours.
Yo, I think Floyd scouted Haney for Gervonta Davis. So Floyd, check this out. Floyd scouted Haney for Gervonta Davis. Tank Nation. With that being said, fam, I think I just said before, scrap the Leo Santa Cruz fight, Gervonta Davis versus Tank Hayden. For Devin Haney. So you should be with that fight, right, Tank Nation? Because I think that's a good fight. It's a good test for both of them.
But hey, D, let me just say this real
quick.
A good
test for Haney, not really Tank.
I think what D is getting at though, bro, is it's not how Gamboa felt about it. It's just the principle of the matter. You don't come in and do that kind of shit.
I mean, the principle of Tank's focus or dedication to the sport. Yeah, I mean, that's that's evident, right? Dude, like I said, came in with a double chin at 136 pounds. We saw like he couldn't. How can he get any faster and call himself a professional athlete? I mean, I get all that point, but I think I was just talking about the corruption aspect of it that Punch was bringing up, that they gave him 2 hours. And I'm like, given the magnitude of the fight, I can see how that 2 hour, that whatever the limit was before that 2 hours, I could see that becoming the new limit.
Listen, bro.
That's a ridiculous amount of time, because the reality of it is they should come to the fight ready and prepared. You shouldn't get no fucking 2 hours. That's ridiculous. But look, real quick, Jordan says 3 to 4 of his past opponent has fought Haney. Were undefeated coming in. So I suppose that Jordan is defending Devin Haney, and I'm not trashing Devin Haney, Jordan. I just want Devin Haney and a lot of these guys to prove more before we start giving them the accolades. I know he trained under Floyd, but so did Adrian Broner. Wasn't he in that gym? What happened with him? No, I'm being serious. Like, just because
Devin Haney was there
in the gym, we have to. Yeah, exactly, Smoke. So we have to see what they do against the better competition. Just being in the gym doesn't mean it's going to translate to the ring. I need to see it in the freaking ring. So don't tell me he's going to beat my boy Teofimo when I'm seeing Teofimo doing in the ring, and I'm seeing him fighting a damn Antonio Santiago or whatever the dude's name was. No.
Yeah, bro. I weigh 265. I'm a big boy. If my big chicken Parmesan fettuccine Alfredo eating ass can run around fucking, if I can sprint 2.5 miles in 45 minutes, dog, that ain't no telling what Tank can do in 2 hours, bro. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Exactly, man. I've lost 4 or 5 pounds of water weight just running 5 miles.
Man, you don't even have to do. You can just go to the bathroom. I mean, I get it. I'm just saying, 4 pounds, but he didn't come in 4 pounds overweight though. That's No,
I'm just saying, if that becomes a regular, like you said, nobody's gonna come, in weight. Just give me that 2 hours. I go run.
Oh man, remember Arturo Gatti? They re-implemented same day weigh-ins for Arturo Gatti. Like, that's the sport.
Raider said that was Neri who got thrown out. That was the dude Andres Gutierrez, 11 pounds over, that was
Oh,
supposed to
right,
fight
right.
Oscar Valdez. Then Bob Aaron picked. Yeah,
Yeah,
11 pounds over. There you go. Yeah, Gutierrez, 11 pounds over.
yeah, but was
Ridiculous.
I the
Absolutely.
I be
My man, best of the best in the field. Oh, go ahead, Punch. Best of the best. I'm gonna let you jump
no,
in
no,
there
no. What
after Punch.
IBT
Go ahead,
said,
Punch.
Nadi had a fight called off for 1 pound difference. Yeah, that was this year, not this year. Early, late last year or middle last year.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
that's
up?
why I pointed out. That's why I pointed out the size of the fight, right? Because I think for certain fights, you get certain, they made certain, they make certain, they give you leeway,
yeah.
considerations.
And Eddie got
But
caught
Yeah,
with steroids. How you on steroids and still miss weight?
Exactly.
but you get paid too. You
yeah.
get paid too.
What's up, best of the best? What's good with you, fam? Is he there? Best of the best?
Yo, guys, let me step out for a
Yeah, I
few.
think it's Mike. Yeah, if you can't, I don't know. He went out. Just go out and come back in, fam. I got you. I'll let you back in.
You
But
Let me.
know,
I'm gonna step out for a few guys.
all right,
I,
Punch. All
I
right,
don't
Punch.
think Tank is a 135 pounder, even though he is a fat boy. I just think he's undisciplined because you could see the power of Tank was not it did not translate at all at 135. I actually think his power is good at 130, but at 135, man, I don't nah. And I just think he should stay at 130. He has skills. Like the dude is nice, but he's just undisciplined, man. That's his big problem, and I see him beating himself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Tank Nation said, I know for a fact Javante Davis' body fat percentage isn't that much. I'm sure it has more muscle than most. I wouldn't really disagree with that, Tank Nation. Like that for the most part, but in between fights when he balloons up, bro, I'm not trying to hear that. That little short dude walking around putting on all of that weight, that's a lot of fat he carrying around.
He look pregnant.
Yeah, that don't have nothing to do with no muscle mass. Now, when he tones down, like I see them on an Instagram post not too long ago, his chin look a little chiseled. And like I said, when that chin start looking chiseled, generally what's up underneath that is the same. You know what I mean? So he's probably been working out and staying in shape. When he's like that, yeah, I go along with what you're saying. His body fat percentage is probably more muscle than fat. But when he balloons up, like when his girlfriend was smacking him on the couch, he was over there drunk with his damn stomach hanging out the bottom of that t-shirt. Man, you gone crazy if you telling me he had a higher muscle count than fat. No, sir. Not then.
Yeah,
No
but
way.
the issue for me isn't even his BMI index. It's that fat content pushes him out of the division he should be fighting in.
Yeah. And Tanker's a stocky little dude too, man. But I tell you like this, he better shape up or somebody gonna ship him out. And
Yep.
if he keep talking about, he better stay clear. I think 130 might be a good idea for Tank, and I'll tell you why. He needs to stay clear of Teofimo just in case he decided to stick around for one title defense. Tank don't want to be it because if that was the title defense, say la vie. Put that little dude to sleep, son.
Nah, they won't let him fight Theo. There's no
I
way they'll
know
let
they
him.
won't let him fight till they keep that boy fall. I just want to take a shot at all the Tank fans. My
Oh.
man, Teofimo Lopez, a sleep Tank, sleep lullaby.
I mean, Tank probably beat
Hey, D,
Linares or some shit like that, but other than that, I
oh
don't know
yeah,
what he could do at 135.
Yeah.
if AD, if Theo beats Lomachenko, is he considered number 1, 2, or 3 pound for pound?
Nah, we had that discussion before. I let him slide in there. I couldn't put him
Well,
over.
why not? He's beating the number 1
I know,
recently.
but I wouldn't. So what? Just beating the number one guy pound for pound don't automatically put you there because there's other people that deserve to move up on the list. And like on my list, I still wouldn't put him past Canelo Crawford or Anui. So I could justify him going into the top 5 if someone say, okay, he goes into the top 5. But I'll tell you right off the back, I'm not going to put him above a Nui Loma. I mean,
D, but does it matter about his performance? Like let's say he's outboxing, like let's just say he's outboxing Lomachenko,
yeah,
and he's showing skill sets of
No, you make that's a fair point on bias. That's a fair point. And if he goes in there and he deuces him up, outbox him, and then stop his ass, oh hell yeah, we talking number 1, number 2, number 3. Take your motherfucking pick because Crawford ain't did nothing in a while. And Canelo, you know what I'm saying? That's my boy too. So I can't even say nothing about Canelo. But my man T.O. would be moving up. In that case, I'm biased. I ain't even gonna lie. Because I'm telling people this. Everybody keep hollering, oh, this is the thing, I'm biased. This is the thing. So I was alerted to something. So I started looking at Teofimo, a few of his amateur fights. And then I started looking at some of his professional fights. And so he has some extra tools that I wasn't even paying attention to. And now when I incorporate that, I'm like, oh, he's going to get in there and he's going to stop Lomachenko. Now, I'll give you one thing is I watched like 5 of his amateur fights, right? The dude's the switch hitting. Like, and it's not the fact that people like, oh yeah, well, I seen him switch hit. And I mentioned like Magdaleno fighting this, that. Well, I seen him switch hit, but. The facts are he didn't have to use it against these guys. He didn't have to use it. But he's going to have to pull those things out the bag with Lomachenko. And all of these Lomachenko magician in the ring and all of that stuff, they're not accounting for that because they don't even have a clue that that's only one thing that Teofimo has in this arsenal. Bro, I'm telling you, he's going to get in there and put that dude away. Now, if I'm correct, and he gets in there and he outboxes the magician, and then puts him away, oh, you damn right we talking 1, 2, or 3. We putting him up there. I'm sorry, I knew he going to have to pass you, and I'm going to tell you right now, it may be Crawford because this is a sport of what have you done for me lately, and Crawford's last 4 fights would not be more impressive than Teofimo beating Lomachenko for all the glory. No, sir. No.
So I definitely agree with it. Depends on what happens in the fight. You'd have to see that to determine. But also T.O. right now for me is outside top 15 pound for pound. So it would be really like I can't even think of another situation where a guy who was outside came in and broke top 5 off of one guy. But yeah, it definitely, I'd have to reevaluate that after the fight, depending on what happens.
Damn, bro, you put me past the MILFs. You said the GILFs.
Hey, but D, I when I initially said that, Teofimo can box, man, and I said about his amateurs, and if you go back and watch even some of his fights, dude's boxing, he's letting his hands go. People think he's just a counter puncher who just waits like Danny Garcia, but that's not true.
Well, I always dispel that foolishness, bro. But it is the amateur. See, this is something that people don't understand about where the amateurs can correlate to the pros. Like people say, oh, that's the amateurs, you can't count it. Okay, to a certain extent, that's true. But certain skill sets, when a guy already shown power, when a guy already shown certain abilities as a pro, so those skill sets do correlate and translate to the pros. And he has those skill sets. And then when I see a glimpse of him using those skill sets to throw a guy off, that's all you have to do. So when Teofimo did utilize switch hitting against Edith Talley and Magdaleno, go watch the fights, it was only for a brief second, why you didn't see much of it, was to throw him off. Because if you think a guy is catching on to the trap you set, then you switch stance on him, then you do something, you're already throwing him off. What happens after that? Boom, he catches him, put him to sleep. But people don't pay any attention to it. So when I go back and I look at him and the amateurs and see that he can actually utilize that other stance more proficiently, we already know that he has power in both hands at the professional level. So what does that tell you? If he's standing orthodox and he comes with the left hook, power. If he's standing southpaw and he comes with the right hook, power, right? That's what that tells you.
Yeah, I agree.
Now it translates.
Yep. That's why I got him beating Loma and everybody else at that division. You know what I'm saying? So,
right. And see, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, I sit up here and I joke and I laugh and all of that, but me unbiased talk about these things. Like, you can say, oh, I see this guy beating this guy, but why? And then when I sit here and I tell guys why, when I break it down, just like I just broke that down, it's like they don't even hear that. It just go right over their head. Well, I just told you why. Whether you accept it or not, I just told you why. Is it not valid? Go back and watch the kid. And then you'd be like, damn, I didn't even know he could do that. And I didn't even know that he could do that well. Now that I know he has power in both hands, both hooks, that's a dangerous skill to have. And when you put all that together, it gives you a different perspective on Teofimo Lopez. If not, you don't really watch boxing like you should.
Yeah. So like I said, for me, it's never been about the tools. It's never been about the attributes. It's all only been about the experience and this being the biggest fight of his life. And how is he going to react to that? That's the only thing. That's the only question for me.
Yeah. Oh, I think that he's going to react just fine because certain things about the mind, like I always say, bro, you envision things. You got to envision it first. You have to see it happening. This has been his dad and his goal. Like, it's a prediction. Like Senior said when he came, he's like, they predicted this because they knew that they was going to get this done. That's how you get things accomplished, bro. You visualize it, you see it happening, and you know. That video I put up about him, and the guy that was interviewing him, I don't know who it was. He was interviewing Teofimo, and he asked him, so when you go into a fight, you know, what's your mindset? Do you think you're going to win? How do you feel about the win? And Teofimo was sitting there. He said, do you think you're going to win? He said, no. I know I'm going to win. Talking about Lomachenko. He already envisions that he knows he's going to win. I don't have a he is one of these kids that invites the limelight. I don't think he has any problem with that. I don't think that affects him at all. And he's going to go in there and take care of business. If that's somebody's only concern, it's the big show is under the lights. This is what he's been working for. Like, this is the excitement. This is what drives him. That crowd, that arena. This is what drives.
But that's the thing. But that's how Floyd thrived. He thrived on guys being all excited because it's the moment, and he's sitting there composed like it's a Sunday morning walk in the park. And that's what I'm saying. Stuff like that. It's a game at this level. It's it's these edges, these moments that could turn the whole fight.
Lomachenko's not Floyd. He doesn't have the poise Floyd have. He doesn't have the IQ Floyd has. He doesn't have the skill level Floyd has. Lomachenko's not Floyd Mayweather. If he was fighting somebody at caliber of Floyd Mayweather, I would agree with you. But that's not Lomachenko.
Speak it, believe it, receive it. I do agree with that if Theo beats Loma, that will be the biggest win, and maybe in all of boxing. It's a better win than Crawford has had lately. Probably better than Canelo.
It would be equivalent. It would be equivalent with
maybe
Ruiz when Ruiz beat Joshua.
Anthony Joshua. Yeah.
I think it would be equivalent with that.
No, that's a fantastic point. I think that would be a phenomenal win. I don't know, I can't think of one that's better. Rosario over J-Rock.
Nah,
but even that.
I think Rosario over J-Rock is probably even with Fury and Tyson. Look, I don't.
Fury. People thought Fury already won. Like, it was like a foregone conclusion kind of thing. Like, that was already basically a 50-50.
Big deal. Andy Ruiz beating Anthony Joshua, the first Mexican heavyweight. That was huge. So
but that was last year though. I thought he was talking about just this year.
Oh, well, okay. Well, yeah, if you say this year, yeah, okay.
I just took it as this year. I didn't.
We didn't really get much this year. That's kind of why I included that. But yeah, I get you. If we're going by this year, yeah, you're right. It will be the biggest fight for sure.
Yeah, I mean the best win, like Fury beating Wilder. Fury was the betting favorite. It was kind of a 50-50 fight. Like, either guy could have won. Like, T.O. beating Loma is not really going to be betting odds on. Like, I think the odds will get closer. I think the odds will get closer to the fight, but yeah, there's not going to be like. I think Loma should be the prohibited favorite in that, betting wise.
Yeah, T.O. definitely gonna be the underdog. He's got to be, by like he's a rookie, man. He's a prospect. So anyway, get this smoke, Jose. Jose, give me some closing thoughts, fam.
Oh, not much. Just thanks for having me on. Even though you call me biased, it's all good.
You know,
yeah,
I love it.
yeah, no, it's all good. I'm just messing around. But yeah, hopefully we get this fight. That'll be one of the greater fights maybe of this whole year. That'll probably be the best fight of the year, other than maybe Fury Wilder. But yeah, hopefully we get this fight and it becomes reality in the next couple of months.
Yeah, truth to that. That ain't no lie. Appreciate you always, Jose. Been there with me since day one, fam. Appreciate you, dog. Get this smoke. Give me some closing thoughts, fam.
What's up, man? Yeah, the word cheat's been banding around. Might as well look at all of the aspects of how we as boxing fans could be cheated, and anybody in the sport. I really appreciate the topic. And it's been another, interesting and fun time with you in the morning. I appreciate it. Like it a lot. A piece of everybody in the panel, piece of the chat. Till next time, man.
All right, thanks, Smoke. Appreciate you coming on, fam. Oh, no, it's all good. I'm biased. I'm glad you put that in the chat. Appreciate my man. I'm biased. Has the new identity. Is UB Boxing and True Crime, and go check it out. Unbiased be putting up some serious stories up there. Unbiased, I'm gonna hit you up after this, talk to you about something, because I like some of those stories you've been putting up. But anyhow, guys, when it comes to the PB cheats and the WB cheats, look, man, it was really aimed more, and I did aim this toward these fans crying about Fury, because you guys, like I said, you cannot prove that nonsense that you're crying about Fury. There's no proof in it. If there was absolute proof, they'd have taken it to the commissions. Fury would have been found a cheater. They would have stripped him of his belt and probably, most likely, handed it back to Wilder if he definitely had proof. But you don't have proof, so cut it out. And if you want to look for a cheater, then about face and look for the PBC and the WBC, because most of these people making the complaint are in full support of these two organizations, and they're the ones that's cheating you. Those are the guys that's cheating you. So, y'all know how I always end this thing. For the love of sports, let's talk about it. Peace.